innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
At Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Most people don't think about their furnace until it's not working, but we do. At Pite Service Experts, we are trained to see what others miss. Airflow restrictions, pressure imbalances, heat exchanger flaws. That's how we catch little issues before they become cold nights and costly repairs. Because keeping your home warm takes more than just a toolbox. Our certified technicians will get your system running at peak condition. Call Pite Service Experts for our special $99 precision tune-up today. Call 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Our hash mark over the middle and wide open at the 30-yard line. Carter shuffle by and touchdown. Here's Olsen, plenty of time, 3 seconds, gets to shoot, and it's good for 3.
From football, volleyball, and soccer to basketball, wrestling, and softball, follow the Pierre Governors on the official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, and also on the River 92.7 page of the DRG News smartphone app and drgnews.com.
Welcome to Bowie Foods at Al's Oasis Plaza. My great-grandfather, Gus Bowie, opened the first store in 1905. I'm R.F. Bowie, the president of Bowie Foods. We aren't your typical store. You'll find everything you need for your family. You'll save money, and I promise you're going to enjoy your grocery shopping experience. We carry a lot of locally produced products and some things you just aren't going to find anywhere else. South Dakota owned, family owned, Bowie Foods.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Graham Tire of Pierre is your premier hometown shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at grahamtire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Buying or selling a home is a big decision. You need an expert who knows the market and gets results. Scott Darnall at Lee Real Estate in Pierre brings experience, local knowledge, and a no-nonsense approach to help you navigate every step. Whether you're looking for the perfect home or the best offer, Scott is committed to making the process smooth and stress-free. Ready to make your next move? Call Scott Darnall at 605-220-2676. Lee Real Estate, Meredith Lee, broker, owner.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Olson Plumbing in Pierre provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
Check out back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Overhead door, New Edge Advisors, Avera Orthopedic, Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, Kruger Contracting, Sensory Business Products, and the Brittany Scheppeldine Agency of American Family Insurance. Governor Sports is also sponsored in part by Hag Services, Dakota Mart, TMA, First Dakota National Bank, May Adam Law Office, Edward Jones, Avera St. Mary's Hospital, Wegner Auto, Graham Tire, and by Xander Auto Parts, American Bank and Trust. Kathy's Sun and Shine Properties, Hawaii Federal Credit Union, the Ramkota Hotel and Conference Center, Tokyo Hibachi and Sushi, Nauman Lumber, Birding Electric, and Black Hills Federal Credit Union. And coverage of high school sports on River 92.7 is also brought to you by these special in-game sponsors. Bank West, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, Central Dakota Eye Care, Envirotech, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection, Brown's Financial Services, Comtech, Coca-Cola Bottling, Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial, Family Dental, Hermanson Endodontics, Cowboy Country Stores, and Gale's Gas Service. And now, Pierre Governor Sports on the official home of the Governors, River 92.7, DRGnews.com.
Thank you very much, and welcome to another night of high school football. Friday night under the lights at Phil Troutner Stadium in Hollister Field. The Governors, after a 3-week hiatus from home, are back on their home field, and they'll take on the Sturgis Scoopers. Should be a great ball game. We're glad to have you aboard. I'm Brian Oakland. I'll be joined later on by John Wayne Calda, who will give us analysis at side. We're live streaming with the help of Brian Minning and our friends at Live Ticket. You'll be able to watch this game at drgnews.com, live on the River 92.7 page and on our DRG News smartphone app. And it's all initiated by William Wilson, running our show with audio in our DRG Media Group and River 92.7 studios. Once again, good evening. I'm Brian Oakland. The Governors and the Sturgis Scoopers with 3 weeks to go in the regular season, and suddenly this is a big ball game in Class 11 AA. We'll explain that more in just a little bit, but the Governors coming off of a hard-fought loss and kind of a gut-wrenching loss at the O'Gorman Knights in Sioux Falls a week ago, 27-23. That dropped their record to 3-3 on the season. Sturgis comes in off of a signature victory, perhaps you might be able to call that, when they defeated the number 1 ranked Yankton Bucks 27-21. They beat them out west at Woodle Field on their home turf, but tonight they go on the road, and the road hasn't been all that welcoming to teams in Class 11 AA, and that's kind of where we'll start with John Calder here. JW, you look at parity in Class 11 AA, it is really as thick as we've ever seen it, I have to say. I mean, you've got teams that from Aberdeen to Sturgis to Pierre to Spearfish to T-Area to Yankton to Huron, obviously kind of at the top of the list, and anyone could beat anyone at any given night, and we've seen that. I mean, Sturgis went to Aberdeen a couple of weeks ago, came up short after losing to Huron, and then they go home and beat Yankton, and of course Yankton had to hold on to beat the Governors here a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, this is what's making it all fun, but it really kind of makes the players have to get out here and play their best game and stay focused all night long.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, a lot of questions tonight coming up, especially on the Governors side. We start, is this the week like it was last year to where we start getting the ball rolling and start carrying that momentum into the postseason? And you take a look at the Sturgis Scoopers right now. The big question is, are they a real deal? And obviously with the victory over Yankton last week, this showed that they're going to be a big time opponent for us. And I mean, we kind of started getting to the tail end of our season generally with the Governors, and it's almost kind of like we're getting to play some of that second string a little bit. We're kind of getting things going a little bit, and generally winning games, I would say, pretty handily. But tonight's I think is going to be a little bit different world out there.
Govs are starting to get their offense in flow, and that's kind of what fans have been waiting for all season long, even though there's some plays that have not been made, that have been left out on the field. And Pierre's trying to put a complete game together, and, as we get going to the rest of the season. But then you saw a Yankton team that somehow was able to slow down that pace of play. The Yankton Bucks a week ago, and Yankton kind of had to change their game up. Boy, if Pierre has to change their game a little bit tonight in their game plan, then the Govs could have some problems here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing for our team right now is you take a look, we are pretty well balanced. I mean, with Merrill in the backfield right now, and then obviously you've got, the wide receiver, core that we have, and, just with Terwilliger out there, it seems like we're starting to find that balanced attack. And, tonight, whatever Coach Steele kind of decides is a go-to, I feel pretty comfortable. Just, what ratio? We're going to see a lot of run tonight. We're going to try to, establish that run, which will eventually open that passing game up a little bit. And I would expect to see us kind of go back to the normal and pass a little bit and just try to pick apart their defense offense as much as we possibly can.
Going to be fun to watch it materialize. We'll talk more about it. And, oh, by the way, it's a perfect night for football. The first time in 3 home games that the Governors have had this season where the weather will indeed cooperate. And we're looking forward to it for that very reason, in addition to everything else as well. Bank West pregame show starts in 3 minutes. We'll take a look around the class of 11AA, the state of football. We'll do that a little bit later on, but when we come back, we'll talk keys to success with the head coaches. And before we go to break, we remind everybody who's on the road for high school football or anything, any reason here this time of year, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety celebrates being a part of a team, and they remind us all to slow the drive, arrive alive. You've got someplace to be, and make sure you buckle in up too. Reminders from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Keys to success to begin, starting with the head coach of the Pierre Governors, Steve Steele, when our Bank West pregame show begins. Since Governors and Sturgis Scoopers tonight, your official home of the Govs, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
There when you need them the most. Bank West insurance agents Sam Kennecke and Angie Taylor are here to make your life easier.
As an independent agency, we're able to customize an insurance plan to fit your individual needs.
We work with dozens of companies to find you the best possible coverage and the best price.
For your insurance needs, contact Sam or Angie at Bank West Insurance in Pierre. Bank West, convenient, connected, committed. Insurance products are not deposits, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, and may go down in value.
Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Do you love watching high school sports but find yourself wanting to be more involved? LiveTicket.tv has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 per hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 2. That's 833-605-5483, extension 2. And punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it in time for this game. See live and archive video of all games. And when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota high school sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play.
All right, week 7, keys to success with the coach. Steve Steele of the Pierre Governors as they get set for the Sturgis Scoopers. But looking back, Coach, on an up and down game at O'Gorman last week, and it's kind of interesting the roller coaster ride that is this game of football. You kind of go in maybe thinking, well, we're a big underdog, and then you own the first half, and then they come back in the second half, and then you think, well, we got them after all, and suddenly you lose 27-23, and I guess it's a tough loss to take, but still, high school sports is all about learning experiences and advancing, I guess, to the next one and applying what you've learned, I suppose, huh?
Yeah, and, there's a lot to be proud of in that game. Obviously there's disappointment in there as well. But, there's a lot of fight from the guys. They played extremely hard, and again, it's at the stage of the season where learning is okay. It's not our last game with a loss. So we understand that, hey, we've got to continue to shore up some of those small things because those small things became very big things in that O'Gorman game. So we just got to shore those up. And, like I said, we're getting close to the time where losing is not acceptable, or not, learnable, I guess I should say, because the season will be over. So, we're thankful that it happened at a time in the season that we can still grow from it. But at the same point, it's time that we grow and we get it figured out so that we can win the rest of our games.
Yeah, now you look ahead to the Sturgis Scoopers. I mean, this was a defensive battle last year, but look at this team and such is life in 11 AA and all the parity. And, lo and behold, they got a huge win over the Yankton Bucks that I don't think many people saw coming last week. So this is a dangerous opponent you got this week.
Yeah, that's just the theme of AA. Is every game there's got to be, your best. You can't afford to let up or overlook anything. This is a good football team, and that's where I said we kind of shared it. This week all practices. Hey, the playoffs start now for us. If we want to have a home game in the playoffs, we can't afford to lose again, just because the two teams right ahead of us are the next two teams on our schedule. Right now we're sitting 6. If we beat both of those, that should theoretically climb us up to 4. This is the playoffs got to start now for us. We've got to start understanding that growth is great. We still want to grow, but we've got to be able to grow in wins now.
Absolutely. Sturgis, what's making them so, I'll use the word again, dangerous right now?
Yeah, their quarterback is an exceptional athlete. He can run extremely well. They do a lot of power read and an option game with them, but then they get him out rolling outside the pocket, and then it's really dangerous because they've got guys downfield that can catch the ball. And if you lose containment on him, then he can obviously run the ball still. So they've got a really tough-nosed running back. And again, they're a really, really gritty defense. I think they were susceptible to some big plays against Yankton, but at the same point, they didn't really allow many drives. They forced, a handful of turnovers. So, I think they're physical, they're tough. And, like I said, they've got a couple really good playmakers that can swing the game their way.
And I didn't see that game necessarily, but to be able to adapt to Yankton's fast-paced offense, they obviously must be a very versatile team as well.
Yeah, defensively, they do a really good job of being able to do some different things, move people around. They really did a good job with that on Yankton, adjusting to it and, to the point where Yankton really kind of, I don't want to say abandoned their pace, but they dramatically slowed down their pace. And that really, once they got to that point, then Sturgis' D really did excel. And offensively, I just think the biggest thing that they did was they just found really good running lanes for number 3. They put the game in his hands, and he rewarded him with the win.
All right, so you probably have to make adjustments on the fly as usual. What are the big keys to success in the Scoopers this week?
Yeah, first and foremost, we've got to take away number 3. We can't allow him to beat us. He's good enough to do that. So we've got to make sure we've always got eyes on him. And if he's got a threat to run the ball, we've got to make sure we got a helmet on him. So, defensively, that's going to be our sticking point. Is we cannot allow him to beat us. And offensively, they do a lot of things. They move people around, but they're going to make a choice, and we've got to be really good at taking whatever they're choosing to give us and then making the best play that we can out of it.
All right, Coach. One game at a time. Go get them. All right.
Yep. Thanks.
There he is, the head coach of the Pierre Governors, Steve Steele. Coach's comments and keys to success in our pregame that are brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care. In Pierre, we'll step aside and hear from them. And then we speak with Chris Koletsky, the head coach of the visiting Sturgis Scoopers, as our keys to success and Governor pregame continue. This is Governor Football.
Did you know 16 million Americans suffer from dry eye? Hi, this is Dr. Nick Marso of Central Dakota Eye Care. Along with providing comprehensive eye exams evaluating vision and health of your eyes, we now offer IPL dry eye treatments. OptiLight IPL is a new innovative light therapy treatment for dry eye and is FDA approved. Also available at our clinic are dry eye products and supplements. Call us today, 224-6128 for more information and to schedule an appointment. Central Dakota Eye Care, 640 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Better vision for a great life.
Our keys to success will continue with Chris Koletsky of the Sturgis Scoopers off of a big win, Coach, last week over the Yankton Bucks. And, the bottom line is in Class 11 AA, it's a buzzword, but it fits. It's parity. And right now, just about anybody can beat just about anybody. And I think you guys were a very good example of that last week. Great win.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it definitely is, Double A this year. And Coach Muth and I were talking kind of pregame how just the parity and kind of how things are going this year. And I think teams are really starting to find out like that, the East River line there, West River line, when you got to travel across the state, things are getting super competitive, and it's just great for Double A football.
Absolutely. And, maybe it's the road teams that are having trouble right now. I know you had a tough trip to Aberdeen,
absolutely.
the same the week before.
Yeah, it is really, what we say to our kids is, hey, we're down 14-0 if we get off the bus. That's got to be the mentality. And it is just hard. It is a hard trip. And I don't know if a coach has the magic answer for the bullet or whatever for how to travel your team well when you're on the bus for 6 hours, but it is hard.
Yeah, at least you got a quote unquote short road trip here this week to take on Pierre. You guys battled pretty good last year, and I expect more of the same this time around.
Well, that's the expectations for us, but we understand the caliber of athletes and coaches that Pierre has, and that's a big challenge for us. Our thing about our program right now is just being consistent every week and being competitive and playing sound football. And in the end, the results can take care of itself if you're in doing what you need to do each day to prepare. That's kind of what we expect out of our kids, and that's what we're want to see as coaches is just traveling on the road and getting off the bus and playing a competitive ball game.
I'm sure you're taking it one game at a time, and you just have to kind of let the results speak for themselves. But are you speaking at all? Do you have conversations about really, kind of making sure you get a home playoff game now, if that's a possibility?
Well, yeah. That's one of our goals. The kids know that. That's why Yankton was a big victory for us because we had a setback with Aberdeen and wanted to host our first round playoff game. And there's a lot of, checkpoints and humps that we want to get over as a program. And, looking forward, we probably got to win at least 2 out of the last 3 to be able to have a shot at that. So the kids know that. It's something we talk about. They know what their goals were that they set. And, we still emphasize, the most important thing every day is being intentional in practice and preparing for that opponent each week.
For sure. X's and O's now, when you look at the Pierre team and what they've got going this year, still obviously a dangerous offense with a pretty good defense. What are you looking at keys to success in this one?
Well, the biggest thing I think you can talk about our defense versus their offense. Pierre's offense is just trying to eliminate the big plays, really. In high school football, if you can make somebody march 65, 70 yards and 10-play drives, chances are something's going to happen, penalty, negative play, turnover. And so that's kind of the mentality with our defense is try to eliminate that. But, man, I'm telling you, it's keeping me up at night trying to figure out a way to, stop the big plays from happening from Terwilliger or Schiffelbahn. Those are guys that obviously pop out on film, and now Pierre's kind of got their running game going 2 weeks in a row against Yankton and in the second half, and then against O'Gorman. So those are big challenges for us, and we know that. And the thing about Pierre's coaching staff is, and people might not know this, we haven't played them. There's about a 2-year gap where we didn't play them, but it feels like we played them every single year. Coach Steele's been out there as long as I've been in Sturgis. Coach Magic is from Douglas.
Yeah.
The strength and conditioning coach Buss was our strength and conditioning coach out here.
Yeah.
Their special teams coordinator was at Belfouche for a number of years, and we coached track against them. So we know each other very well. Everything's very familiar. So we got all that, but at the same time, those guys are just great at making adjustments. And there's going to be something that they're going to find in our defense or in our offense that they can take advantage of, and we got to be ready for that.
All right, Coach, we're looking forward to a great one. Wish you the best of luck, all right? Thanks for talking to us.
You bet. Thank you.
There he is, Chris Koletsky, the head coach of the Sturgis Scoopers, coming in 4-2 to take on the 3-3 Pierre Governors. Coach's comments and keys to success. Thanks to both head coaches for their time and comments. as we step aside. They're brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. 3 minutes, and we give you the starting lineups next. This is Pierre Governor Football.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest, convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building, the garage doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
I'm Scott Nye. As a coach for the Pierre Governors, I know a winning game plan is crucial. When it comes to your finances, you deserve one too. At New Edge Advisors, our name is new, but our commitment to you isn't. We're the same trusted team you've known, and we've expanded our playbook of resources to help you plan for retirement, manage investments, and protect your future. Let's build the strategy that gets your financial future into the end zone.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial.
At Avera Orthopedics, we're transforming pain into possibility every day. Whether you're chasing a personal best or simply want to enjoy life to the fullest, our specialized care is designed to help you feel better and stronger. We're here for you. No referral needed. Trust Avera Orthopedics to unlock a world of endless possibilities. Visit avera.org/orthopedics and start your journey from pain to possibility today.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at CapitalCityFordToyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 605-224-7378.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003, and they're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pierre and can build your home in Pierre, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
Back at Phil Troutner Stadium in Hollister Field after we've heard from the coaches. We've got the starting lineups coming up. We may have to split these up as the Governors take to the field, and once they get out here, there should be a big old boom on Hollister Field as well, as that's been part of the pregame setup here at Phil Troutner Stadium in Hollister Field. Starting lineups brought to you by Envirotech. Let's meet the Sturgis Scoopers, and the one guy that Steve Steele could not talk enough about is their quarterback. It's Jackson Cano. He's a 160-pound senior. He'll do a lot of running. He certainly can throw the football as well. His one tailback behind him is Peter Pye, a 160-pound senior. Wide receivers are Ethan Graff, a senior, Seth Burton, a senior, and Jack Jolly, a junior. He's the biggest at 180. On the line, in the middle, it's Tanner Golden, a 205-pound senior. Dion Ekofi is a left guard, 240-pound junior. Logan Royer, a right guard. There it is. Logan Royer, the right guard, 170-pound junior. Taden Larson is the left tackle, 235, and a junior. Miles Voigt, a 235-pound senior, is the right tackle. And Gage West lines up at the tight end spot, 210, and a junior. On the defensive side, Jeremy Johnson-Londell is a 280-pound senior on the nose, flanked by defensive ends Jens Iverson and Robert Sperling, both seniors, 215 and 220. The linebackers are Gage West, Brody Bulat, a 145-pound junior, small linebacker, but a big one, one in Zoel Arion, who goes 210 and is a junior. The corners are Trace Prescott, the 145-pound junior, and Seth Burton playing the defensive side as well. Safeties are Brody Royer, a senior, Peter Pye, starting both ways, and Jackson Cano, the quarterback, is also the center fielder as the free safety for the Sturgis Scoopers and their head coach, Chris Koletsky. As they introduce the cheerleaders, let's give you a quick rundown of the Pierre Governor offensive lineup. Caleb Lounsbury, the senior quarterback. Carter Merrill, the senior running back with the 3 wide-out set. Carter Scheffelbein, all-state talent. Junior for the Governors, Lincoln Dilgis, the senior. Jaron Deal, the sophomore. Of course, Cooper Terwilliger, the junior tight end, lines up at start as well. On the offensive line, Bryson Wallman is the junior in the middle at the center spot. Max Bogenhagen and Max Schmitz, outstanding season for both of them, are the guards, and Colton Cass and Tucker Ott, the tackles for the Pierre Governors. Defensively, Lathan Rounds, the sophomore, on the nose at 240 pounds. Bogenhagen and Schmitz are the defensive tackles. The outside linebackers, Hudson Schaefer and Lincoln Schoenhard, seniors, and Sam Larson and Will Eilers in the middle, with Logan Whitty, Aiden Beam on the corners, Porter Hunsley and Sutton Sonnenschein, the safeties for the Pierre Governors, and head coach Steve Steele and his band of merry men. We're back after this from Envirotech in a 2-minute timeout. This is Governor Football.
Envirotech makes life a little bit simpler. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what is handed to you, Envirotech has you covered. One call is all it takes to have easy setup, easy pickup, and easy payment. Call Envirotech at 224-4804 or use their website to pay your bill online at envirotechwaste.com. Use the mobile app Waste Connect. Check their website or receive a robocall for collection schedule due to weather or holidays. Envirotech has you covered.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pierre School District. Backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
At American Family Insurance, we help protect what you've achieved so you can fearlessly go after your dreams. For auto, home, business, and life, contact us today. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance, Life Mutual, Standard of Ohio and Wisconsin Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Call the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC, with offices in Pierre, Oneida, and Gettysburg.
Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
Back at the stadium as we continue our Bank West pregame show. We've heard the starting lineups, but there is one other group of starters that we'll name for you, and that is the naming of today's game officials. We call them the Law on the Court. They're sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and their Division of Consumer Protection. Hear this important message, and the guys in stripes are coming up with more Pierre Governor Football.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
South Dakota's Attorney General's Office Law on the field is tonight's game officials, and we appreciate them, thank them for everything they do in officiating high school sports, which is certainly very oftentimes a thankless job in officiating, especially high school sports. So tonight's Law on the field are Scott Bessler, Brock Bessler, Colt Bessler, Jim Wilkinson, and John Latham. Some friends of ours in this group, especially John Latham, a former Stanley County wrestling coach, but this group comes from northwestern South Dakota, and they are here to officiate Pierre and Sturgis. Scott Bessler, Brock Bessler, Colt Bessler, Jim Wilkinson, John Latham, thanks guys for being our Law on the Field, brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Consumer Protection Division. Quick look around Class 11 AA high school football is Huron and T area are 5-1, but Huron with a better PowerPoint average as they're the number 1 overall seed if the postseason were to begin tonight. T area would be 2, Yankton would be 3, Spearfish and Sturgis tied for 4th, and they play each other in the last game of the regular season as per usual. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. That's your top 5 right there. It's the Governors at number 6 at 3-3. Brookings is also 3-3, but they would be the 7th seed. Aberdeen Central has come up into the 8th seed now with 2 wins in a row, including the first of which over these Sturgis Scoopers that we'll see tonight. Watertown, Mitchell, and Douglas, the 3 on the outside, looking in Class 11 AA. Tonight with Pierre and Sturgis in the capital city. Also in the class, it's Aberdeen Central at Huron. Brookings goes to Yankton. Watertown at T area. Spearfish and Douglas and Mitchell playing at Brandon Valley, their 11 AAA opponent. Also in AAA, it's Stevens at Roosevelt at Howard Wood Field. Harrisburg at Sioux Falls Jefferson. Sioux Falls Washington at O'Gorman. And Sioux Falls Lincoln going across the state to Rapid City Central. Other games that we've got going on, the DRG Media Group docket has Stanley County idle tonight, so no game on KGFX. Instead, Sully Butte's going to Harriet Selby area. I believe Justin Cowart is up in Selby doing that game on KMLO FM. KPLO, we've got Miller Highmore Herald going to Mount Vernon Plankinson, and on Star 99, the unbeaten Mobridge Pollock Tigers are going to Clark Willow Lake to battle the Cyclones. Meanwhile, other games in Central South Dakota, the Lyman Raiders host the Phillips Scotties tonight. Chamberlain plays host to unbeaten Woonsocket Westington Springs Sanborn Central in Class 11B. A couple of 9-man games in the Western Great Plains as well. It's Jones County at New Underwood and Gettysburg up at Timberlake tonight. That's the look at the state of football in Central South Dakota and throughout Class 11 AA. We take a final 1-minute timeout. We're kicking things off when we come back. Your Comtech opening kick and Pierre Governor football tangling with the Sturgis Scoopers coming up next. This is Governor Football, your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Comtech has your technology solutions. Check out their showroom located right off the truck route on Irwin Street. Come in and see what you've been missing. A large selection of TVs, sound systems, and smart speakers, PCs, desktops, and tablets, home and business security and telecommunication systems. Comtech is your all-in-one solution for any technology needs. Wishing all athletes the best of luck in today's competition. Comtech. Come see what you've been missing.
Comtech will provide the opening kick coming up. The Governor's taking on the Sturgis Scoopers. Get ready. It's going to be a good one. Brian Oakland along with John Calda. We'll talk with the coach once again momentarily. But a quick reminder, you're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety. River 92.7, KGFX FM, and K296FI, Pierre. Put the phone down. Focus on driving.
And as we get ready for your Comtech opening kick, we remind you to stay tuned throughout our broadcast when we try to provide you with some right-on-the-money highlight plays, which are brought to you by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. Mosaic Wealth member SIPC. Governors hope to be right on the money with a bunch of highlight plays tonight. They had some at O'Gorman a week ago. Sturgis certainly had some as well in their win over Yankton. Thoughts, JW, on this one? It's going to be good. That's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, I've been looking for this one all week. In this case, like our call here, taking the ball right off the bat, hopefully, again, establish good field positioning here and get a nice long sustained drive and just some balanced offensive attack for us.
I think that's the one thing Coach Steve Steele wants to get on the board first, see if he can get the first punch in the mouth, if you will, of the Scoopers, make them respond. It'll be kicking off. It is Isaac Smith of the Scoopers, right to left as we watch this one, and it's taken on the near side of the 12-yard line. Jaron Deal with some running room up on knee, breaks a tackle at the 40-yard line, gets a few more yards, just like John Caldas said. Good field position to start, and Jaron Deal providing with about a 33-yard return up the near side.
Yeah, I got to love Deal back there. Just nice little transition by the coaching staff. Got a lot of wheels, got some good speed to him, and just again, finding a little little seam there, was able to pick up some big yardage for us.
Governors in black on black tonight. Black jerseys, black pants. They have some pink trim. It's October, and they show their support for breast cancer awareness here in this Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Green helmets, and they'll move left to right. West to east. Caleb Lounsbury wants to throw right away. There's a flag in the backfield right away. There's Cooper Terwilliger on a nice pass coming to the near side. He takes it at the Sturgis 41-yard line, but probably going to come back as this one thrown in the backfield, and that's usually an indication of offensive holding. And we'll see what this Northwest South Dakota crew has to say. The Governors are applauding, and they're... Was they say no flag?
No flag.
Okay. Well, a 14-yard pickup for the Governors into Sturgis territory.
Yeah, like seeing that right off the bat, lineman just giving him plenty of time. They were looking for Coop basically over the middle right off the bat, but he was checked off by linebacker and just stayed with him. He was open to, getting a little bit of an opening there, and Lounsbury making a good pass.
One play for the Govs and already into the enemy side of the field. And again, west to east, there's no wind tonight, no rain, no mud, no nothing but perfect weather for high school football. Near hash mark, here come the Scoopers. Lounsbury rolls left, fires, and across the way, the pass is caught by Jaron Deal. Governors would get 5 yards out of something that really could have been a big problem. Dion Coffey came in there streaking into the backfield. It was a long throw, but on the wide side of the field, just good enough for, we'll call it 4 yards across the 40 to the 37. Bottom line is it's 2nd down and 6 instead of 2nd down and maybe 16.
Yeah, I like the way you see it out of Lounsbury right now, actually going, against his body in that one, kind of making a throw on the run there and just putting one where basically his receiver could get to it, and that was it.
Now on the far hash mark, first time we see Carter Merrill as he's got running room across the 40, the 35, inside the 35, down to about the 31. Dragged down for the stop. That'll be a pickup of 6, and that's just enough for the first down at the 31-yard line. No measurement here. Carter Merrill expects to have a big game. Had a big game last week. We actually named him as our player of the game, our Cowboy Country Store's player of the game. We'll do that in the postgame coming up after this one, among other things as well. 3 plays in, and the Governors have 2 first downs. They've got it 1st and 10 at the Sturgis Scooper 31, and now we have a flag, and the referee is counting players, and he might be putting this flag right back into his pocket.
He was thinking 12.
Well, it might be easier to count the pink trim instead of the green helmets. Here we go, 1st and 10, going for the downs. Shuffle by in the end zone, touchdown. Simple as that, as Carter Shufflebine outruns Seth Burton. Timing pattern on the near side. And a bomb from 31 yards out. 4 plays, and the Governors strike first, and a gorgeous throw by Caleb Lounsbury to his favorite receiver in Carter Shufflebine. Man, you can't throw it any better than that. Shufflebine just ran right to it.
I'd say from lineman to the quarterback to wide receiver, everything was just picture perfect on that play.
Shufflebine ended up with a few steps. Now the kick by Carter Templeton. That is up and good. And the Governors, just a minute 18 into this one, lead 7-0. They'll kick after our 32nd step away. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
In Mitchell or Huron for great deals and top-notch service, Iverson Auto has it all. From the knowledgeable sales and finance teams to the experienced parts and service teams, plus the best detail shop in the region. Iverson Auto, 77 plus years in our community, locally owned and operated. We have always been here and always will be. Stop in for your next new or used ride or use one of our professional services at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron, or browse our inventory online anytime at iversonauto.com.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Trotter Stadium and Hollister Field. Once again, just 4 plays to go 55 yards. 1 minute and 18 seconds into this one. A 31-yard touchdown pass from Caleb Lounsbury to Carter Shufflebine. A Templeton PAT makes it 7-0, and John Calder, the beautiful thing about that is 3 pass plays, and the Governors just, last week I'm sure they wanted to use the run to set up the pass as best they could. Maybe they thought they might have to do that tonight, but they tried the pass, and it's working so far.
Yeah, that's probably the best opening series I've seen us have, especially, Lounsbury out there. Just even under a little bit of attack there, the first couple of plays was still just, again, making good reads and making good passes and throwing it where the receivers can, and give the linemen some credit on that last play because it gave them a little bit of time there just to set that play up and just throw an absolute dime.
And three throws. One of them took some time. He hits Terwilliger on the near side. One time he gets flushed out, throws to the far side, and then, of course, he's got time to sit back and plant a seed into Shufflebine's arms in the end zone, 31 yards, and every one of them. Tight spirals. He's throwing well so far. We'll see if that can continue. Here's Templeton kicking off, taken at the 8-yard line by the Sturgis deep man. He slips up the far hash mark across the 20, 25, down at the 29, and the return man here is Brody Royer. So Sturgis will try to respond after Steve Steele and the bunch of the Governors get exactly what they wanted out of possession number 1. Scoopers have it at their own 29-yard line, 10:38 to go here in the first quarter. And it'll be up to Sturgis to try to keep pace here if that's how the Governors are going to be going. But watch Jackson Cano. Exciting player, the senior, 160-pounder, wears number 3. Sturgis, whereas the Governors are in black on black tonight. Sturgis in white on white. White road jerseys, black numbers, black helmets, but they've got the white pants on tonight as well. From the far hash mark and the pistol, they'll hand off first play to Peter Pye, and a good open field tackle here for the Governors and Porter Hunsley. Pye looked like he was ready to go for 6 or 7 or more, but he stopped for 4 across the 30 to the 32. In fact, that's just a gain of 3. Peter Pye's a good one, too. Another 160-pounder. If Sturgis has the need to bring the thunder along with the lightning they've got in the backfield, I think they do have some bigger backs that they can employ as well. But here's a 4-wide set, 2 receivers, both sides, ball right in the middle of the field between the hash marks, and a quick fire, but behind the receiver, as Cano throws too quickly, perhaps, to his tight end, Gage West, and making sure West hits the deck anyway. Hudson Schaefer right there.
Yeah, I don't know if that was Coach Magic with the read on that one there, but I was just watching Schaefer from the start, and he was actually lined up a little bit more on the offensive tackle, and last split second makes just a quick little movement out to that wide receiver. So it just seems like, again, somebody had that sniffed out, basically what they were going to be doing with that play.
Well, you heard Coach Koletsky talk about his relationship with Coach Magic, who used to be in West River, and, of course, Coach Schleissner on the Governor's staff as well. Used to be in Belfouche. These guys know each other. Here comes Terwilliger. There is Schaefer to join him. Meeting at the quarterback. The sack is in the books. The quarterback on the turf all the way back inside the 20-yard line to the 18. That's a loss of 14 yards on the play. And the point I was going to make, Coach, is just that maybe there aren't too many secrets with the guys who we're coaching in this game.
No, I don't think so. I mean, with film and everything else that these guys watch on a day-to-day basis, we're week 6 right now. We start seeing the tendencies that these coaches have, and again, it's just you can put them out there. You can tell the kids everything that they're probably going to do. It still comes down to high school. In this case, age boys, whether they're going to get it done or not.
Quarterback Cano is the punter. Carter Shufflebine takes it. Sorry, Dad. Carter takes it at the 48. Gets a 3-yard return to the Sturgis 45-yard line. And the Governors are in great field position to try to add now to a 7-0 first quarter lead. 9:07 to play. Pierre off to a good start. They get a 4-play touchdown drive, a 31-yard touchdown throw. And then the defense does their job in a 3-and-out of the Scoopers, including a quarterback sack. Pierre's probably going to want to try to keep the pedal to the metal here on their second possession, especially starting at this point of the field, already in Sturgis territory. Here's Lounsbury throwing. Nope, that's short. Outside, far side to Shufflebein. And as Caleb Lounsbury pats his chest to say, my bad. You know, sometimes he's a little tentative to throw that pass on these wide receiver screens, but that is the first time that I've seen him not even short off. That one was thrown right into the dirt.
Yeah, those are tough. I mean, again, there's probably a lot of things they don't practice in in terms of their 0 hour and stuff like that. They're working on more downfield routes, but we look at Sturgis right now playing a little bit of kind of man on, and just really surprised they don't have an extra guy sitting over top of number 7 on us right now, and just kind of leaving him by himself on an island.
Here comes Merrill up the gut, and just inside the near hash mark, he is grabbed and dragged down, and a good play by a Coffee, but still Merrill able to bust through to the inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Nice 6-yard gain for Carter Merrill. He's got a pair of those, and 12 yards so far. Pierre with a 3rd down and 4. Second possession, just 3 down linemen for the Scoopers, 4 linebackers, one of them cheating up here on the left side now. Here with 2 receivers wide, two to the near side, right side. Terwilliger on the end included. They'll stay on the ground with Merrill. Bit of a break disruption in the handoff exchange. We do have a flag thrown in the backfield. But Merrill's got first down yardage for now. Inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. We've had a couple of flags on the ground. They've both been waved off, but I don't think this one's going to get, decided against, shall we say. Flags resting at the 42-yard line. And the call from, I believe, Scott Bessler is the referee, and Cooper Terwilliger, the guilty party on the holding penalty. This will mark the Govs back to the 49-yard line. First penalty that counts. It's still 3rd down, but 14 to go for the Governors. 8:10 to go. We're in the first quarter. Pierre on top by 7 so far. 3 receivers left. They'll throw out that way. Shufflebein has it this time at the 50. Makes his move to the 45. Flag thrown out to the far side. Shufflebein run out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. Actually, they'll spot him at the 43. So only a gain of 6. And if this is on the Governors, I'm sure Sturgis probably declines and forces a 4th down, and what would be a 4th down and 8. Well, that pass at least out to Shufflebein on the far side, and they're going to say holding again on the Govs. And it was Terwilliger again. Noted. They'll take the result of the play. It's going to be a pickup of 6, and the Governors will have it 4th down. And they're bringing the punting unit in, and they'll try to play field position here. Certainly with a 7-0 lead, you don't have to disagree with this call. I guess I was a little surprised they wouldn't try to go for it, but
yeah, field position game at this point in time, right? I mean, we've seen it out of Coach Steele enough where he's not afraid to go after this. I just think this early in the game he's trusting his defense right now, and more than likely 3 plays back we're probably getting the ball back in that same situation and same pretty close to the same field position.
Brody Royer back deep as Lounsbury kicks a punt for the first time tonight. This one's high, but it's short. It bounces on the near side at about the 26, and it comes to rest at the 23-yard line where Hudson Schaefer will pick it up there. 3 and out from the Governors. Holding penalties kind of getting in the way, but Sturgis will have it 1st and 10. Better field position than they probably thought they would have at the 23-yard line. 7:17 to play. Governors on top, 7-0. Hope you're watching. DRGnews.com, River 92.7 page. You can watch us on your smartphone with the DRG News app. Of course, live ticket doing the video streaming. Thanks, Brian Menning. And they're available through gogovs.live. You can also access that site through the Pierre School website. 7-0, a 31-yard touchdown pass, which certainly was a Rounds Financial Services right on the money highlight play on the Governors' first drive. That's the difference so far. Here's Sol Arian, big running back, 215-pounder, running around right side. And there's the thunder that I was kind of referring to a little while ago. whereas the Sturgis Scoopers had the Lightning with 160-pounders. Arian coming in 200 plus, and he's got a 12-yard burst across the 35 to the 37. In fact, make that 14. And Sturgis has their first chain mover.
You know, you talk about Thunder. I think he's got a little lightning to him, too. Obviously, there's a pretty big gap there, big hole for him to go through, but he looks like he's got a little speed and quickness behind him.
Now back to the ground, and it is Arian again. Across the 40 to the 43. A lot of people know the Arian name. There are roots in Pierre for Zoel Arian. Of course, we know him as one of the wrestlers on the team that's proven themselves to be the top team in the last few years, and probably will be again this year in that Sturgis match squad. 2 receivers right, 1 left. This is a 2nd and 4 coming up for Jackson Kano, and Arian again. A lot of run-pass option we'll see with this team. Arian's wrapped up at the 45-yard line, falls ahead, maybe for another yard. He's going to be a yard shy of the line to gain. They'll spot him at the 46, a pickup of 3.
Yeah, that's what makes Sturgis so, I mean, in my mind, dangerous is that RPO that they're coming in, because you've got some pretty good backers that, you know, they're going to get probably 2 to 3 yards off of right now. We're seeing their offensive line having a little bit of surge and kind of putting a little pressure on our defensive line, but anytime that quarterback wants to, you know, take that ball and go, you know, we've got to honor that run as well.
3rd and a single yard here as Kano is looking to the sideline. I'd say watch out they don't direct snap to Arian, but 5.5 minutes to go, quarter number 1. And the back judge is counting down the seconds, but they get the snap off. Here's Arian, and he's hit hard right at the 45-yard line. He was following a blocker, but that blocker just got dismissed, and it's Will Eilers who's the last off the pile. Gain of nothing. What a play. Talk about a defensive right-on-the-money highlight play. Rounds Financial Services. Way to go, Will Eilers.
Yeah, I think Sam Larson was in there too. Both those backers just closed so quick on that. No one was coming. That was a great play by the defense there.
They were trying to get a lead block from Tate and Larson, but I think the Governors have the tail of the tape advantage. Now the Governor defense... Well, here's what's happening. The Governor defense was ready to play a punt, and suddenly Sturgis swapped personnel, and they were poised to go for it. However, as the Governors looked like they had jumped, there was a false start on the Sturgis offensive line. So there was some purpose to that, but still a little bit of disarray, and Sturgis's 5-yard mark-off is going to cost them a chance at a 4th and 1. They'll have to send in the punting unit instead and go 4th and 6. From the 41-yard line.
You know, that's something you basically get one chance a game on, maybe one chance in your, 3 or 4 games. And unfortunately for Sturgis, that was that one opportunity to catch us off guard.
Kano brings in a high pass, and this one takes a line drive hop. It'll advance in Sturgis's favor inside the 30, 25 down to the 23. Now, Coach, if I'm not mistaken, I thought that ball might have hit the foot of a Sturgis player about 10 yards upfield. And even if they down it at the 23, would you, if that was the case, would you put it back where it was first touched?
I would think so.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Governors will have
we've
it.
seen some things tonight on in the refereeing crew and stuff like that. I'm not sure if they were able to pick that one up or not, but
we're teasing these guys that we know a little bit. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Here comes Merrill, near side on the toss sweep. Up ahead of the 25. Nice gain, 7 yards as he's brought down at the 30-yard line. Teaming up in tackle is Jens Iverson, along with number 14, Gage Weston on the stop too, but the Governors will take 7 yards on first down any day, all day long. And Merrill with 19 on his first 3 totes. At the 4-minute mark, Pierre going once again left to right, west to east on the near hash mark. Sending 2 receivers wide to the left, 1 to the right to his Lincoln Dilges. Here on 2nd and 3, probably. I was going to expect them to throw the football and maybe throw long, but they'll go with Merrill as he's got a first down burst through the line of scrimmage across the 35 to the 40, and 10 more for Carter Merrill. just seemed like what Pierre and Steve Steele is used to doing. If it's second and let's call it easy, you might go for the downs a little bit and take your chances on third down if it's incomplete. But in this case, stick with what works because the Governor offensive line is opening the holes for Carter Merrill as he gets 10 here and another first down.
Yeah, if you get a chance, go back on that play and watch Coop Terwilliger actually come in. Sturgis was kind of running a little bit of a stunt there, and he actually came inside our guard and was able to take on that stunt and open that hole up for us.
Merrill again, he breaks through. Just enough of a bit of a crease to get across the 45. And another 5+ gainer. In fact, 7 more. Spot him at the 47-yard line. Got 36 yards now, a 7-yard average for Merrill. Merrill with some big gains. The Governors played well against the AAA O'Gorman team a week ago. Came out of that one, I'm sure, feeling they should have won that football game, but, you raise enough eyebrows and suddenly, this was the time of the year last year. People started to say, watch out for the Governors. Maybe they're doing that again. Flushed out is Lounsbury, rolling left, throws against his body. Shufflebine at the 35, 30. He slips and falls down on the far side, inside the 20-yard line. What a pass by Caleb Lounsbury, again throwing against the grain. And Shufflebine takes it in stride all the way down to the 18-yard line. Coach, that might be the best-looking throw I've seen in motion, in placement of the ball in relation to the receiver, and in stride, 25 yards. Maybe his best pass of the season.
Well, that just shows me, one, just the comfortability. How comfort that we're starting to see these wide receivers and the quarterback and Lounsbury get that. Again, that was a little backyard football kind of action there where, we weren't getting to our normal routes and he just made a little break and was able to find a little open pocket.
Merrill left side, ready to go again inside the 15, looking for the 10 as he runs his way out of bounds. In fact, a little bit of force by the Sturgis defense, of course, as well. And another 6, maybe 7-yard gain. We'll see if they spot right on the 10. Looks like the 11 here, but it is 7 more yards. It's all 6s and 7s with a 10-yard gain in there for Carter Merrill. Governors are in the red zone as they've got it at the Scooper 11. 2nd down and 4, looking to add to a 7-0 lead. Out of the pistol is Lounsbury. Merrill still there. Play action. Lounsbury rolls out, overthrows Jaron Deal at the goal line. He was around the letters, or the letter G on the goal line. Meanwhile, Shufflebine was back near the far corner, but that pass thrown kind of right in between them. And I don't know if that was indecision on the part of the quarterback or maybe just an overthrown pass. Looking for Jaron Deal instead. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Still here at the 11-yard line. I'd say, 3rd down and 3. Scoreboard says 4. We'll call it 3rd and 3. Terwilliger in at a fullback spot right now, and they'll keep it on the ground. Here's Merrill trying to break tackles, and Carter still going inside the 10, just keeps his feet and legs moving. Finally brought down by Jackson Kano at the 5-yard line. 6 yards for Carter Merrill again, and it's a 1st down for the Governors and goal to go.
And just great yards after contact there. I mean, he was actually hitting the backfield and was able to keep his feet going and just bouncing off, and getting us a 1st down and a good chance here.
Somebody got him by the shirt tail, and he was strong enough to pull out of that. Now we've got a minute to go in the 1st quarter. Governors in the east end zone trying to punch it through for the 2nd time. They lead 7-0. Offset, eye to the right. Mr. Williger will lead on the sweep. Merrill with a toss. He's hit inside the 5 at the 3, and then bounces and is taken down at the 2-yard line. Good pursuit by the Scoopers this time. You got 1 and 12 in there. Trace Prescott out of the defensive backfield. Peter Pye as well. Shortest gain of the night because there just really isn't much real estate, but all bottled up this time. We'll give him to the 3 at 2nd down and goal at the 2 for Carter Merrill and the Pierre Governors. Probably we'll get one more play in here before the end of the 1st quarter. 12 seconds left. There's the snap. Merrill, little hesitation, sidesteps, but he's taken down at the 1-yard line. And that is where our 1st quarter will come to an end. For the time being, on a Zoll Arian tackle, it's Governors 7, Sturgis Scoopers, nothing. That's your score at the end of one on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. Brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. So we will take a 60-second timeout, and we'll go to quarter number 2 on the other end of the field when we come back to Phil Troutner Stadium in Hollister Field. 7-0 Governors. This is Pierre Governor Football. Your official voice of the Govs is River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Back at Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field, Brian Oakland, John Calda here in the booth. Brian Manning on camera, William Wilson in studio. The Governors on the 4th play of the game had a 31-yard touchdown pass from Caleb Lounsbury to Carter Schuffelbein. They lead 7-0, and now on the first play of the second quarter, they'll look to punch it in from the 1-yard line. Now moving back right to left. This is Porter Hunsley taking the snap as he tries to move forward, but the scooper wall will not let him through. He is stopped at the 1-yard line for no gain on what was the 10th play of the drive that started back at their own 23-yard line.
So amazing to be on. You get to the end zone and just how things tighten up, obviously, with field position. But it's just, how you can drive 40, 50 yards and just, get things at will. And then, all of a sudden you tighten things up here and things become a little bit more of a challenge for you.
4th and goal at the 1. It's still Hunsley, and we've got whistles as Hunsley walks into the end zone. But there are whistles and no play happening here. Got encroachment against the Scoopers. They say offense. Well, on offense. Maybe a mix-up of the signal here, but we'll assume a false start. The play never did happen, so.
Yeah, they were calling over the neutral zone with the offensive guy.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That
lined
makes
up in
sense.
the neutral zone, excuse me.
So a 5-yard to the negative puts the Governors back at the 6, and instead of trying 4th and goal from the 6, they'll try to kick a field goal here. And from 22 yards out, Carter Templeton, that's a PAT plus 2 yards, no problem for Templeton. So the Governors will settle for 3. First minute of the second quarter, 11:14 to go. The Governors up their lead on the Scoopers to 10-0 as we pause for 30 seconds, and we'll be back for a Pierre kickoff when we return with more Pierre Governor football.
This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Generational Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Phil
Troutner Stadium in Hollister Field. The Governors running 10 plays, covering 71 yards. Stopped at the 6. They got all the way to the 1, but once again, a little neutral zone infraction by the Governor offense. Marked him back to the 6-yard line from there. Carter Templeton with a 23-yard field goal, 7-yard hike, 10 yards through the end zone. And this drive taking about 5 minutes and 16 seconds off of the last of the first quarter clock and into the second quarter as well. And we got the coaching staff right next to us hollering something down to the sideline. Looks like Cooper Terwilliger, Carter Schuffelbein are looking up this way, listening intently. It'll be Templeton to kick off after his field goal to make it 10-0 8-0. Scoopers had one first down picked up on their last possession, their second of the game. Second possession, that is. He just had the one first down. Good kick from Templeton, takes the return man back inside the 10-yard line. Nice return here by Brody Royer across the 20 to the 25. Couple of nice spin moves. Took the Governors 4 or 5 tries to finally get him down, but there wasn't a lot of excess yardage being picked up by Royer despite the spins, and the Scoopers will start 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Yeah, you can't get much momentum going when you've got Porter Hunsley, barreling down the field the way he was. And, didn't make, obviously, the tackle in that case, but just still slow him enough that you've got guys coming in the backside and being able to finish the deal for him.
11:06 to start in the second quarter here for the Scoopers. They'll have it on their own 24-yard line. They are the team moving left to right now. West to east, Scoopers in white on the road. Governors out to a 10-0 lead. Here is Jackson Kano. They'll go on the ground, and this is Peter Pye, I believe, as he dives into the line of scrimmage. Gage West ended up falling through it, but Peter Pye doesn't get too far, just a yard, as they'll spot him to the 25. So the Governor defensive line doing a good job here.
Yeah, I love watching Coach Magic's defense he's got going this year. I mean, he's, we're kind of set up basically in a 3-5 kind of defense, but he is not afraid to bring, again, and put, 5, 6, 7 guys up on that line. We're not sure if they're bailing out or if they're committing to the run in that case, but this run-heavy team is just something that...
Play action as Kano throws out to the left, and the intended receiver, I believe, number 11, Cole Litzen, who is a 196-pound senior backup wide receiver. I think he broke off the route. He cut into the middle of the field, and meanwhile, Kano stayed out to the far side route, and this pass was almost intercepted by Governor defensive back, but it's incomplete on a short hop. Kano 0 for 2 to start his throwing day. Litzen stays out there, and Sturgis seemingly taking their time, but they've got a 3 for 3. Nope, those 3 receivers will just stay out there, far side. 3rd and 9 here from the 25-yard line. Scoopers trying to get something started here as they trail 10-0. Kano looking left side. Here comes the slant again, and he throws in between 2 receivers. There's Litzen out there again, and also Ethan Graff, starting receiver. And the Scoopers just looked out of sorts in the passing game for the last couple of plays. They'll have to punt for a 3rd time in as many possessions here.
One thing we haven't seen a little bit yet, we've kind of talked about all along, is Kano, basically being able to run that ball.
Right.
We've seen a heavy dose of the running backs, and now a couple passes to wide receivers, kind of waiting for that Sturgis offense to start utilizing him a little bit more.
Kano is the punter. He'll punch it out of here once again. He kicks from his 10-yard line. The Governors get Porter Hunsley in there, streaking this one high up, and the Governors are all hollering, get away, and they do a good job of that. This one bounces just across the 50-yard line. Pierre will have it 1st and 10 at their own 49. Great field position again. Governors have started drives on their own 45, the Sturgis 45, and then their own 23-yard line. They still kicked a field goal out of that last possession. Here they've got it at the Pierre 49-yard line. With 10:09 to go, Governors will look to add to a 10-point advantage. 3rd to the final weekend of the regular season. Play action. Lounsbury over the middle, wide open. Cooper Terwilliger met at the 35-yard line on the Sturgis side of the field. Brought down by Peter Pye at the 34. And a good 15-yard start to this possession. Once again, Lounsbury throwing strikes, and Terwilliger has his 2nd grab of the night. It's going to be fun. There was one play last week where Cooper Terwilliger bounced off about 5 guys after receiving a pass over the middle, and that's the Cooper Terwilliger I think that a lot of people are just waiting to see. There he is again. Coop's got it at the 20-yard line, slips out of the tackle. 15, 10, 5 brought down in the red zone in a goal-to-go situation. Cooper Terwilliger on cue. I mean, just like exactly. Yeah, the fans are looking. They know what they're looking for. Hey, we're fans too. 29 yards for number 12. And the Governors in a goal-to-go situation once again. Lounsbury continues to deliver. A great start for the quarterback and his receivers. Caleb right now, 9 pass attempts. He's completed 7 of them. And again, 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go. We're in the second quarter. Snap in the pistol. Pitch pass. It's Jaron Deal sweeping left to right, but he can't turn the corner. He stays at the 5, and good pursuit here by the Scoopers. Checking out there, Peter Pye will be credited for the tackle, and Deal will get nothing this time. That's his second reception of the night.
Yeah, and those are runs that are, working for us back when we're back on the 40, 50-yard line. If you watch their corners are playing so far off, giving our wide receivers so much respect out there that it's just kind of leaving that outside edge. And, again, we start tightening things up here. Now we're starting to see a little bit more kind of press coverage out of those corners, and obviously they're feeling a little bit more in the box and, just bringing a little bit more to the table in this case.
Second goal, the Governors will try again. Pistol, there is Carter Merrill in the backfield. And we've got whistles. And a delay a game on the offense. And, we got a lot of opinions being thrown around as to why there was a delay of game here, but it will be a 5-yard penalty back to the 10-yard line. 8:16 on the clock. Second quarter. Lounsbury will take the snap. He'll float one out near side and Shufflebine has a step. Another dime dropped in by Lounsbury to Shufflebine. You're saying Jaron Deal.
Jaron Deal, yep.
Jaron Deal's got it. Okay, Deal's got the pink shirt. Shufflebine does not. Deal, 1 versus 7, these skinny numbers. But what another beautiful pass, 10 yards out this time. And Lounsbury delivers again. Deal's 3rd catch of the night. Carter Templeton's 3rd successful kick, his 2nd PAT. Governors tack on 7 at the 8:10 mark of the second quarter of play. Pierce 17, Sturgis nothing. Governors kick when we come back after this 30-second step away, and we're back with more Pierre Governor football.
Means different things to different people, but to us, it means seeing my daughter follow in my footsteps, keeping the farm in the family, just getting to do this every day. We're Agtegra Cooperative, and we're generationally successful. That's who we are. Agtegra Cooperative.
Hey, Josie.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Well, after the Governors win the field position yet again, and after a Sturgis punt, Pierce starts at the 49-yard line. It takes him 4 plays, including a 29-yarder by Cooper Terwilliger through the air to get the Govs down to the 5-yard line after a penalty. A 10-yard touchdown pass from Caleb Lounsbury, his 2nd of the game, to Jaron Deal, his 1st reception for 6. And that one from 10 yards out. Carter Templeton's PAT makes it 17-0. Governors dominating this first half, where parity has ruled Class 11 AA these last few weeks, starting tonight to the regular season. Really starting, I believe, perhaps really going to kind of open things up. The kickoff is muffed, and then it'll be picked up by Royer, and he will just run it out of bounds. Sturgis will have poor field position again at the 18-yard line. Porter Hunsley and a couple others were there to make sure Royer wasn't about to go anywhere.
Yeah, and if Sturgis wants to get some good field position off of these kickoffs, they're going to have to find a way to slow down, Hunsley coming down the field. They're basically looking for a center return or maybe even left side return. Templeton's actually putting such a good ball in the air right now that they're actually able to almost outrun the kick, before it even gets to him, and they're getting down and just bearing on him fast.
Carter Templeton is kicking deeper than he has. He's been kicking a lot of high-end over-end, shorter kicks, but every one of them so far has gone, I think, at least to the 12 or even inside the 10-yard line. Kano's going to run for the first time tonight, a quarterback keeper, and we got a flag thrown as the play comes to an end. Jackson Kano will have just a couple of yards to the 10-yard line. or I should say to the 20-yard line. But this will be on the Scoopers. Lincoln Schoenhardt and Cooper Terwilliger in on the stop. Governors will accept the penalty at the line of scrimmage, and this should be half the distance to the goal. From the 18, it'll be back to the 9 instead of the 8. First penalty of the night for the Scoops, actually the second. That has been marked off against them. 1st and 19 now at the 8-minute mark, quarter number 2. Jackson Cano can make things happen with his feet. He may have to here as he'll roll out to the right, pitch it to Zoel Arian, and he takes a big hit by Aiden Beam on the near side.
That's a big hit.
Aiden Beam, the defensive back for the Governors, putting the stick, and Beam here going, well, he's 190.
I was just looking the exact same thing you were, but yeah, going toe-to-toe with the 210-pounder, and little force there behind that one. I love seeing that.
And defensively, again, right on the money was Aiden Beam with a right on the money highlight play. That's brought to you by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. RPO, they'll give it to Arian. Left side, bounces off on the cutback. Look out. 30 to the 40. Near side, here come the Govs, and Porter Hunsley will slow him down and get him down, but not until Zoel Arian makes it all the way to the Pierre Governor 40-yard line. That was a great start, but the cutback was outstanding by Arian here, and Sturgis has by far their biggest play of the evening.
Yeah, just a little over pursued there by the Governors, but just give Sturgis a little bit of credit there. There's kind of that RPO that we've been looking at, and obviously decided to hand it off last minute and was able to cut back against the grain and make a big play there.
The play good enough for 36 yards. This time it's Arian for the Scoopers, right on the money with a highlight play. Rounds Financial Services. This time Cano on the snap keeps it, and once again Aiden Beam on the near side will get to the ball carrier and minimize damage. Just a 1 yard, maybe a 2 yard gain. Steve Steele is pointing at something to the near side official. I don't know if he saw the same thing offensive line coach Scott Nye saw, but Scotty Nye up here in the booth next to us is asking for holding politely, of course.
Yeah, and it pretty noticeable, but yeah, I mean, especially when it happens on the outside edge like that. But nonetheless, the flag wasn't thrown, and we go on.
2nd down and 9. I'm sure the Governors are fine with a 1 yard gain, as the defense, again, has been very quick. Save for that one big play that Arian had just a moment ago. Now we've got whistles. We'll have a timeout. The first timeout taken by either team in this first half. It'll belong to the Scoopers. Their first charge timeout. We've got 7:19 to play in the second quarter. Timeouts in our broadcast brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. Grab a Coke. Be back in 60 seconds as you're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
I can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Now's your chance for a great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Welcome back to the Hawaii Federal.
Out of the Coke break, timeout taken by the Scoopers, and they've got 1st and 10, but they'll roll far side, and a pass that is intended for, I believe Cole Litzen. Is that 11 or was it 10? Nope, it's 10, Robert Sperling. As he is unable to bring that one in, a backup senior tight end.
Sturgis had everything they wanted on that one. Just nice little rollout, and was able to find that pocket, and just a little bit too far there.
Yeah, led the receiver just a little too far. Maybe a yard or two. Sperling dove for it, but couldn't get to it. Oddly enough, Jackson Kano 0 for 4, having his struggles. He'll have Arian in the backfield. Scoopers have it 3rd and 9 at the Governor 39-yard line. Kano surveys, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Arian had it. No, it's actually Kano still with it, and he'll keep it inside the 40. Only a gain of 2 to the 37-yard line. JW, they really sell these RPOs, run-pass options, as long as they can before Kano decides what he wants to do with it here. And I think even if he gives it to Arian, the Governor's had that sniffed out. So only a yard here, and it's 4th down and 8. I think the Scoopers have to go for it here from the 38-yard line.
Just going to comment on our defense in that case. You almost treat it like it's a normal option where you've got a guy that's keying on the quarterback and you got a guy that's keying on Arian in that case. And no matter where the ball goes, we're tackling both of them in that situation and making sure that it's minimal gain.
Trips right, near side, ball between the hash marks. Kano looking to throw. Throws downfield, but overshoots everybody. The pass intended for Ethan Graff. And the Governors will stop the Scoopers on downs and take over at the 38-yard line on the Pierce side of the 50. And you talk about reading keys, and that's what options are all about. Yep. And, it's just a kind of a football term that I never really knew until I started talking to coaches several years ago about, playing against option teams or double wing teams, teams like the Winter Warriors and things like that. But so far, the Governors are... I would say discipline is a very good word to describe the Pierre Governors tonight.
Yeah, because not only that, you got those 2 runs, and you could also actually break that quarterback and hit a couple of step backs, and you got a wide receiver that's possibly going downfield. So your corners are also having their job in that case of just sticking with those receivers.
Lounsbury first down pass, and this one is off the hands of Brody Royer. Jaron Deal, the intended receiver, but he just disappeared. He got taken out of the play. Royer up the hash mark. And this is the first time I might be a little bit critical about the throw from Lounsbury, because that one just looked like it was, thrown into double coverage, and I just didn't see an opening there, but I'm sure he saw something, and he's been throwing so well, and he's a confident thrower, but this time the Governors are fortunate they still have the football.
It would have been interesting to see if Deal wouldn't have got taken out there, where he would have ended up and where that ball would have, possibly made contact there, but just a little bit of a broken route there.
Through the hands of Royer, the defender instead. Now 2nd and 10 from the near hash. Governors east to west, right to left as you watch this one at drgnews.com. Here's Carter Merrill bouncing off. He's got first down yardage. He's still going into Scooper territory. Look at Carter Merrill go all the way to the 47-yard line. How many yards after contact is this one? All the way, into the Scooper side of the 50. You've got a whole pile of people who are being helped up off the turf. Merrill probably, that's got to be 10 or 12 yards after contact for Carter Merrill, and he just kept on going. Is there a flag setting on the far side of the field, though? The far side, but the spot of the foul here is at the Sturgis 46, so it's at the end of the play. Great run for Carter Merrill and the personality of the Governors here on their home field. Starting to show. Here's the call. Illegal substitution. This is going to go against the Scoopers, and my only thought is maybe they had somebody running in before the whistle was blown. They wanted to get a substitution in, but the play wasn't over.
Let's go back to that last play. You were bringing up yards after contact there, which obviously was great off Merrill, but how many yards did he actually get before there was even any contact on him? Yep. So we give credit to that offensive lineman in that case, because again, that momentum shifting obviously in our way here, and it has been for a little bit, but just kind of having their way with that Sturgis defensive line.
So Merrill for 15 yards, tack on 5 of the penalty. Now pass going long, and Dilges makes an outstanding catch inside the 10-yard line. Lincoln Dilges, blanket coverage. Maybe a little hand fighting, but Lincoln just sticks the hands up at the last moment, and another right on the money highlight play. Lincoln Dilges has the Governors all the way down to the 6-yard line of the Sturgis Scoopers. Good for 36 more.
What a pass. What a catch.
Everything about the Governors is just outstanding right now. And that's the 4th different receiver, and every one of them has made highlight plays so far. Rounds Financial Services, where your money works for you. Right on the money. Lincoln Dilges, the Governors at 1st and goal. I had them at the 6. The scoreboard says the 7. will go with a 6. Here's Porter Hunsley. Is that Hunsley or is that Deal in the quarterback spot?
Deal.
Doesn't matter. It's a touchdown. Jaron Deal. Streaking to the left side. Quarterback keeper, almost like a wildcat play. It might as well be, but Jaron Deal starting to make plays for the Governors. He's got his second touchdown of the night, one through the air. First one rushing. Touchdown Governors, 23-0 Pierre. Sturgis coming in with a lot of confidence after defeating the Yankton Bucks a week ago, but one thing we talked with Coach Koletsky about, John Calda here, is the in parity in 11AA as the Governors look like they're going to go for 2. Now it's Porter Hunsley, and we'll get back to that point in a moment. Hunsley rolling left, near side, turns the corner. He will not make it. Number 5, Wyatt Marler, closing things off, and Hunsley is forced out at the 1-yard line, so Pierce settles for 6. We'll keep it here with 5:02 to play, 23-0 Governors. But with this parity issue that 11AA has, anybody can beat anybody, at least the top 7 or 9 out of 11 teams, you'd say. But the road teams have had the trouble.
Yeah.
Sturgis goes to Aberdeen. They come up short. Yankton goes all the way out to Sturgis. They come up short. Of course, the Governors to Yankton a couple of weeks ago. I mean, obviously the home team's got the advantage tonight, and you can see that this... At least there are some tendencies starting to show up in 11AA.
Well, we're a little biased, obviously, up in the booth, and we try not to be. But you also take a look at our year, and you got 3 plays away from the Governors actually being 6-0 at this point in time. Losses are losses, and we can't go back and play that game. But still, it's like we were there, we've been there, and I think now we're starting to find that flow. We talked identity so much last year, where I think now this team is starting to find again that identity, get Merrill back in the situation. Shufflebine obviously just doing what he's doing right now, but and Coach Steele and that offensive staff just find ways to get multiple people the ball right now. But just good things happening right now, catching that momentum at the right time, and again should hopefully propel us over the next couple weeks in the playoffs.
4 plays on that scoring drive for the Pierre Governors, 62 yards covering 1 minute and 20 seconds. A big 36-yard completion from Lounsbury to Lincoln Dilgis gets the Governors to the 6-yard line. That's where Jaron Deal ran it in. The 2-point conversion run attempt failed, and it's 23-0, 5:02 to go. Templeton with one of those shorter kicks far side, but a short return as a result, as the Governor Special Teams does the job again. So here come the Scoopers, but now down by 3 full possessions. There just hasn't been a lot going right for the Scoopers on this night, as the Governors, maybe it's just the nice weather. Maybe that's why the Governors are feeling a little more comfortable, because they've had a couple of 3-point wins in rainy and muddy conditions on their previous 2 home games. Sturgis starts on their own 24-yard line again. Their starting field positions all on their side of the field, the 29, the 23, the 24, the 18, and again, now the 24 on their 5th possession. Kano to the air, has a man wide open. Gage West across the 45 into Governor territory. Sturgis spreads the field, and they get their second big play of the evening, and that's a great start this time when Sturgis is trying to just get anything going offensively.
Yeah, there's probably one weakness in our defense right now, and that's probably going to be the middle of the field, and I'm kind of like a little surprised they haven't tried to expose that a little bit more. Again, with Magic's defense in terms of who we bringing, who we not bringing. Sometimes when you bring the house, you're going to leave a spot opened up, and they expose it there.
First completion in 5 attempts tonight for Jackson Kano. 26 yards to West. He wants to throw again, but the Governor defense, and this is not Kano. There's a flag thrown. Quarterback running to the far side. This is Tate Johnson, a 170-pound freshman. And I'm trying to think back, and I'll be honest with you, it might have been Johnson who threw that first pass. I just have to assume that it was, and not Jackson Kano. Check the marker here with the officials.
I think it's going to be defensive holding.
Tate Johnson, I tell you what, if that was him throwing that football. That's an impressive throw for a freshman. Of course, turned into an easy one. Holding defense. That's why I got him up here. John called up. Spot foul or?
No,
that can't be.
Yeah.
Well, they marked it from the 31-yard line.
Yeah, that's where the foul was committed at. Yep.
Well, in the defensive backfield, you're always going to have better than a 10-yard penalty that way. I'm a little miffed on this because that's a 20-yard advance for the Scoopers here. That just doesn't seem right. But anyway, it's 1st and 10 at the 21. Now in the backfield, Governors do a good job wrapping up the quarterback, Johnson. I have to get on the binoculars and see the whereabouts here of Jackson Kano. If we can see number 3 on the far side. Johnson running the football, but for nothing.
Yeah, he's standing on the sidelines. Yeah.
2nd down and 9. They give the quarterback a yard on the keeper. That puts him at the 20-yard line. Fake the reverse handoff. Johnson tucks and runs again. He'll lower the shoulder inside the 20. And the Governors will stack him up at the 19.
Tell you what, speed of our offensive wide receivers and defensive corners and safeties right now is starting to show. And, you take a look at Sturgis having to play so far back and respect the speed that we've gotten. There's just nothing open for Sturgis right now downfield.
I think that was Max Schmitz who gets out to the edge, and this gain actually has a 3rd and 6 set up.
Yeah, he's come back in now, yep.
Okay, yep, Kano on the way back. So this drive started at the 20. This sequence started at the 23. Gain of 3 on that last one. Still on the ground here for the Scoopers. Far side. Once again, that Governor defense is up to the task.
Hudson Schaefer.
An Arian in on the carry. And the Scoopers are going to be pushed back to the 20-yard line, so a loss of a yard for Zoll Arian. Oddly enough, that's the first time I put a minus in front of a yardage on the stat sheet here for a single play for either team tonight. Big play for the Scoopers, down 23-0, 2:15 to go in the first half. And Coach Steele going to take a defensive timeout. I was just about to say here, if you're the Scoopers coach, you don't want to give the Governors too much time to try to get another score in before halftime. We'll see what happens. Let's take a 30-second timeout. This is a Coke break brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. Back in 30, the Governors on top. Closing the first half here on River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal.
Phil Trotner Stadium in Hollister Field. Big play, as mentioned, coming up for the Sturgis Scoopers. It's 4th and 7. They've got it at the Pier 19. Sturgis in the red zone for the first time. But again, 4th down. Jackson Kano with 3 receivers right. That's the wide side of the field, but it's our near side. He's looking left to a single man out there. Pass is thrown and caught at the 10-yard line. Protection was right there, but coming away from it is Brody Royer, it appears, number 23. And that's a first down gain to the 10-yard line, a pickup of 10. A play that, as mentioned, for various reasons, the Scoopers needed. And they'll continue the drive, and now they have it 1st and 10 from the 11. Actually, the chains are down, so it's 1st and goal from the 10. RPO, and it's Arian coming right side. He's upended out of the open field. The ball hit the ground, but that is after the play is dead. Porter Hunsley coming in and making a nice stop. And, Coach, you and I have been, you in particular, have been calling Porter Hunsley's name an awful lot tonight.
Yeah, he's just flying. I mean, it's not even, making yards or making tackles, 5-6 yards, where he's standing. He's just coming and just closing so hard.
And he's doing it offense, defense, and special teams. He's really been flying, as you say, in all 3 phases. Minute 20 to go now, second quarter. Scoopers trying to get on the board for the first time, and they could really use a bit of a kick here before halftime. Kano keeps it. He's inside the 10. Flag comes in late in the backfield. Kano taken down at the 8-yard line. Sutton Sonnenschein coming away from the play, but this is holding. Initial indication is holding Sturgis. And this time the flag is behind the line of scrimmage at the 12-yard line. Coach Steele is thinking about it. Looks like they'll back him up. Holding offense. They said 10 yards from the previous spot, but I think then Scott Bessler said from the spot of the foul. Well, they've got it back to the 20, so it's from the line of scrimmage in this case. Fourth penalty for the Scoopers. Now 2nd and goal from the 20-yard line. Kano takes the snap, fakes the inside handoff. Here come the Governors, and down goes the quarterback again. Second sack of the night for the Governor defense. This is Maximus Schmitz. And a goal-to-goal situation as the Scoopers pushed all the way back now to the 27-yard line. I think the Governors are taking a timeout. 46 seconds to play. We'll take another Coca-Cola timeout, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. Pierre 23-0, leading the Scoopers. Back with more in 30. Pierre Governor football.
Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technology, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Holding penalty on 2nd and goal from the 10 pushes the Scoopers back to the 10. And then a quarterback sack pushes the Scoopers back to the 27. You heard maybe some shouting. They're changing the time on the clock. They're trying to put a full minute back on the clock. In fact, when we went to break, I think I said 46 seconds, but they've added time, and it's 1 full minute left, and that is why Coach Steele, I think he got an earlier timeout. That's why they added time here. 3rd and goal from the 27. Quarterback draw, nothing, as Schmitz is in there again for the Governors. There's Cooper Terwilliger. There's one other guy in there, too. Show me the number. Number 60. There's Lincoln Schoenhardt in there. And for the Governors, 60 is Cruz Williams in there, a 210-pound sophomore. The Governor D-line is doing a heck of a job, and that's a loss of 5 more on the play. Looked like a quarterback draw. It looked like Kano was going to keep it, but the Governors just collapsed. What do you think? Rushing yards or quarterback sack?
I think I was with you. I looked like a quarterback draw in that case. Yeah.
Rushing yards.
Yep.
Okay. See, it's key for stats from people like me. So Governors will get their 3rd and final timeout here. And boy, if Sturgis wants to go for it, I think you almost have to kick it if you're Sturgis. Make this field as long as possible for the Pierre Governors, right? Coca-Cola timeout on the field, by the way.
No, I do. I mean, you look at 30 yards and, 1 down, 1 play here. Obviously, you could take a shot, but I think, in my mind, I think the risk is probably a little bit greater than the reward on this one.
Because obviously the Governors have that quick strike ability. I mean, they've had a couple of big plays, a couple of long pass plays, 36 yards to Lincoln Dilgis, 29 yards to Cooper Terwilliger. Carter Schuffelbein has a 31-yard touchdown and a 25-yard catch. And any one of those plays that didn't score 6 could just as well have gone for bigger gains. So
you look at what's working for Sturgis right now, and basically it's short pass routes. They're not able to get anything deep, and so even if they do get a pass off, it's probably something short. What's been working for us has been those deep balls and obviously the speed from our receivers. So again, you're kind of playing into, I would say our hands in this case with 50 seconds left.
52 seconds to be exact. Here comes a 4th down and goal from the 32-yard line. You don't hear that very often. Sturgis has trips to the near side right. One single receiver left. Kano will roll to the near side. Looking. Governor's pursuing. Pass thrown, and it is intercepted in the end zone by Porter Hunsley, who makes another right-on-the-money highlight play for the Pierre Governors. Right-on-the-money plays. Sponsored by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. Porter Hunsley is working for Governors and their fans tonight as he picks this one off. There was Gage West. He was in among 3 receivers, but I'll tell you what, John Calda, if Porter Hunsley doesn't pick this pass off, I think Gage West has an amazing 32-yard touchdown catch.
That was closer. I actually wasn't quite sure until Hunsley came down with it, who actually had the ball in that case.
So 45 seconds left. The Governor's looking to have some fun here in the 2-minute drill or the less than 1-minute drill as they'll start 1st and 10 on a touchback from their own 20-yard line. And sure, Hunsley could have knocked it down. It would have been 12 yards to the advantage of the Governors. And here comes Lounsbury. Over the middle, you've got Lincoln Dilgis at the 35-yard line up to the 40. That's not Dilgis, that's Hudson Stoser with his first catch. That's a pickup of 20. 1st down stops the clock as they spot it. Now the clock runs again, and Lounsbury will throw quickly again. Far side, Jaron Deal at the 45 advances up ahead, close to a 1st down. Out of bounds to stop the clock. A gain of 9. And a Deal with his 4th grab of the night. 2nd down and 1. Most importantly, the clock stops with 34 seconds left. 3 receivers left. Ball's on the far hash mark. Governor's heading from right to left. And Lounsbury alone in the backfield. 2 receivers going from the right. He'll go short over the middle, and the pass is short, intended for Stoser. Lounsbury went through his reads very quickly and had to try to check it down, but probably a good thing just the same that this one hits the turf and it's incomplete.
You have a 1 timeout left, right?
I believe Pierre has used all 3 of theirs.
Okay, all right.
On defense on that last sequence. So 3rd down and 1. A rare incomplete pass for Caleb Lounsbury, the senior quarterback. He's got Carter Merrill in the backfield now. Cooper Terwilliger is a down lineman on the right side. 1st down is gained. And again, the Governors will just hurry as the clock stops to move the chains. This is into Sturgis territory. They haven't spotted the football yet. There it is at the 48. Just a 3-yard gain. And what do we have here? That was an official's play stoppage. I thought I heard the word courtesy. Clock starts on the snap. 21 seconds left. Governors just didn't have to hurry. Now Lounsbury ready to throw long. Over the middle, looking to get open. There's a grab out there, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, there is. Carter Schuffelbein got grabbed by the shirt collar by the Sturgis defender. And the pass interference will come. This will advance 15 yards for the Governors. I think that pass might have been overthrown, but
yeah, and then he unfortunately was actually he was letting up on it. I mean, I think it was actually behind him, probably about 5 or 6 yards, and he was letting up, but
it wasn't much. But you could see, and I think you're right. Maybe Schuffelbein is slowing up on his own route. But there was a grab, and even that you could see a little more of a slowdown. So the line of scrimmage was the 48, and the Governors will get 15 to the help. And they'll have it at the Scooper 33-yard line, and there are still 14 seconds left. If you're Pierre, I imagine you take one shot for the end zone here, and then you maybe still have time to get a sideline route to make it a little bit shorter of a kick, if necessary, for Carter Templeton. 5 wide, 3 to the left, 2 to the right, including Cooper Terwilliger. They'll go short, right side. Short pass caught by Schuffelbein. He'll have it inside the 20, and it looks like the Governors are content, in this case, to try to kick a field goal. Well, they still have time left. 10 seconds now. That was a quick play. Again, well executed.
Yeah, as long as Sturgis is going to give you those 6-7 yards. I mean, they're playing so soft out there that, those sideline routes are there basically at will right now.
That's 17 for Scheffelbein.
Really could probably get about another, 2 of those off if they wanted to.
10 seconds left again. It's 1st and 10 from the 21 of the Sturgis Scoopers. Scoopers got one free safety back in the end zone. He's creeping up a little bit now. Far hash mark. Lounsbury looking left. Over the middle, and it's caught! Hudson Stoser, touchdown! The needle threaded, another gorgeous, perfect throw by Caleb Lounsbury. 21 yards. The Governors on a 45-second touchdown drive cover 80 yards, a 16-yard touchdown from Lounsbury to Stoser, his first of the season. Governors lead 29-0. I am in awe of the throwing game of Caleb Lounsbury right now. Carter Templeton's PAT is good. The Governors, with 6 ticks to go in the first half, lead the Scoopers 30-0. 30-second break. They'll kick when we come back. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Xander Auto Parts brings the opportunity to make a difference, to follow through with integrity, to solve challenges through innovative thinking, and to bring the technical know-how needed to get the job done. At Wilbur Ellis, this is how we work, standing side by side as local experts who partner with the stewards of the land. We do it together. That's the power of we.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal.
Never underestimate the quick strike ability of the Pierre Governors. Ooh. That's a good score there as far as both of these teams are concerned. A final that's in, as John Calder just showed me. So a little bit of a tangent here, but Watertown has defeated T-Area, the current 2 seed, coming in 5-1. The score in that one 16-7. So both teams, Sturgis and Pierre, will be helped out by that result. But again, the Governors, it only takes them 39 seconds to go 80 yards in 6 plays. There was the help of a pass interference penalty along the way, but a 16-yard touchdown strike by Caleb Lounsbury to Hudson Stoser. And Stoser, the junior backup receiver, he's probably the 4th, even the 5th receiver, but he was the open man and might have been the primary read on that last play from 16 yards out. And Caleb Lounsbury throws his 3rd touchdown of the night. He is red hot in this game. Templeton will squib one. It'll take a big hop, taken at the 27-yard line. And guess who? Porter Hunsley is right there to put Jack Jolly to the turf. Hunsley again flying on special teams. Sturgis will have it with time for one play. 3 seconds to go here in the first half. Again, 30-0 Governors. We'll see what Sturgis does here. In most cases, you might see them sit on it, but I mean, right now, what do they have to lose? It's just absolute domination for the Governors in this game. As Kano is in the pistol, and he will kneel on it, killing his rushing average there, but it's back to the 22-yard line, and the first half comes to an end. It is all Pierre Governors in this one on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. 1 half in the books. It's Pierre 30 and the Sturgis Scoopers nothing. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. When it gets cold, use their budget plan and keep full service to stay warm all season long with Gales Gas Service in Pierre. We pause for 3 minutes. Halftime coming up. It will be Scooper ball when we start the second half, but they've got a lot to talk about, and the Governors still have work to do as well. They'll talk. We'll talk too when we come back in 3 minutes. Our wealth partners, Ameriprise Financial. Halftime break is next. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football and your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Protect what matters most with the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, American Family Insurance. Our personalized insurance solutions ensure you're covered, no matter what life throws your way. From home and auto to farm, commercial, and life, we tailor policies to fit your unique needs. With our dedicated team and exceptional service, you'll have peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Contact the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC.
Best of luck in today's competition to the Pierre Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy, your local agronomy experts. Black Sheep Agronomy wants you to have a successful farm plan, and they're focused on products and practices that work in this region. As community members themselves, Tyler, Tice, and Austin support area students who work hard in their school and extracurricular activities. Good luck, Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy. Call 842-6104 for all your agronomy needs.
Stay in a beautiful Black Hills vacation home, the Summit on Dancing Sky near Leeds, South Dakota, in the popular Powder House Pass development. It's a modern rustic design with over 5,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, and 5 baths for you to enjoy. You'll get gorgeous views of the Terry Peak Mountain Range. There's a community pool to enjoy, and you're close to all the attractions like Deadwood, Sturgis, Spearfish, and a whole lot more. The Summit on Dancing Sky. Visit them at dancingsky.com.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
At Dakota Behavioral Health, we offer comprehensive mental health services, including medication management. With offices in Pierre and Winter, we provide in-person and telehealth appointments to fit your schedule. Whether you're managing anxiety, depression, stress, or other concerns, our compassionate team is here to help. We are currently accepting new clients, so take the first step toward better mental health today. Call Dakota Behavioral Health at 605-702-6769 or visit dakotabh.com to schedule your appointment.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal
Field and halftime with entertainment from the Pierre competitive dance team. Governors, I'll tell you what, they're having a good time tonight. Third home game of the season. First one with good weather, and they are dominating the Sturgis Scoopers 30-10.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety. River 92.7.
The players electing to receive, wanting to get the first say, maybe throw the first punch in this one, figuratively speaking. That's exactly what they did. They get 4 plays, 55 yards after a nice opening kickoff return, but Caleb Lounsbury throws long to Carter Shufflebein for 31 yards to end a 55-yard drive that only took a minute 18 off the clock, and it's 10:42 left in the first quarter. Govs were already on top 7-0, and then the defense comes out and pitches a 3-and-out, forcing the Scoopers to punt after all with a Pierre 3-and-out. But after one first down, the Scoopers punted again, and then the Governors had it 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. From there, they go 10 plays and 71 yards. They got all the way to the 1-yard line, but a penalty on 4th down backed them up to the 6. They elected to kick a field goal, and Carter Templeton puts a 23-yarder through to make it 10-0. Just underway in the second quarter. Govs were just getting started after forcing another 3-and-out. It's Pierre from the 49-yard line, and 4 plays later, it's Caleb Lounsbury to Jaron Deal from 10 yards out. Beautiful throw to the corner pylon, and Jaron Deal runs right underneath it, makes the catch. The PAT from Templeton makes it 17-10 with 17-0 with 8:10 to go. Scoopers' next possession, they get a good pass play to get into Pierre territory at the 40-yard line, but after starting from their own 18, but 4 plays later, the drive stalls on downs from the Pierre 38, and the Governors take over from there, and again, quickly, 4 plays, 62 yards, 1 minute and 20 seconds. downs. And as the Governors get into the red zone inside the 10 from the 6-yard line, it's Jaron Deal in running the quarterback position and a good runner as he comes to the left side, and he was finally hit just across the goal line, but he's in for a 6-yard score. And then the Governors tried to get Porter Hunsley a running opportunity for the 2-point conversion. That, however, comes up short, and it stayed at 23-0 as the Governors hold on 6 that time around with 5:02 to play. Sturgis's most promising opportunity comes in this next possession from the 4:58 mark of the quarter. From their own 24. Again, another nice pass play to get into Governor territory. They got, in fact, all the way down to the 10-yard line with the help of a defensive holding penalty. But then the Governor defense comes to life as they sack the quarterback once for a loss of 7 yards. And then, again, that penalty, Sturgis had a penalty to mark them back 10 yards as well. They had a goal-to-go situation all the way back to the 32-yard line on 4th down. And then rolling right, Jackson Cano throws for Gage West in the end zone, but the pass was undercut by Porter Hunsley, who's had just an incredible first half of play. The interception gave the Governors the ball from the 20-yard line on the touchback, and just a precision, whatever you want to call it. It was perfection in running the 2-minute drill with only 45 seconds. In fact, it only takes the Governors 39 seconds to run 6 plays, go 80 yards. There was a pass interference penalty helping them out, but Caleb Lounsbury, maybe one of his more pretty passes of the night, he threads the needle to Hudson Stoser on the skinny post, and Carter Templeton makes it with the PAT 30-0 with 6 seconds to go. That's a 6-play, 80-yard drive, 39 seconds. My esteemed colleague John Caldas said it's more like the Governors of old, and that's got the Governors on top by 30 here at halftime. After a Sturgis kneel down, we go to break, and this is our Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial halftime. Sturgis will get the ball to start the second half. Here's the offensive numbers for the Governors. 78 total yards on the ground, but 232 through the air. Caleb Lounsbury, 14 of 18, 232 yards unofficially. The Governors with 310 total yards of offense in this first half. And again, 14 completions. He's hit Carter Shufflebind for a total of 69 yards on 4 catches. Jaron Deal has 4 catches for 23 yards, including a 10-yard touchdown. Hudson Stoser, 2 catches for 36 yards, a 16-yard touchdown. Lincoln Dilgis has that many yards on just 1 catch, but of course set up another score. And Cooper Terwilliger is into the mix with 3 catches for 58 yards. 5 receivers have caught passes tonight, and every one of them has been of the utmost productivity for the Pierre Governors. 232 through the air. Carter Merrill has 72 yards on the ground and 11 carries. Jaron Deal a 6-yard touchdown romp, and Porter Hunsley stopped for no gain on his only carry. So 78 through the, on the ground, and again 310 total for the Governors. They've been penalized 4 times for mark-offs of 30 yards, but I've got them at 12 first downs picked up on the night. Meanwhile, again to 310 total for Pierre. Sturgis has been held to just 82 total yards, 67 on the ground. Zoll Arian has run well, though. He's got 8 carries for 62 yards. It's Peter Pye with 4 yards on 2 carries. Tate Johnson, a backup quarterback, has 2 carries for 4 yards. And Jackson Cano has minus 3 yards on 3 carries tonight. Cano and Johnson through the air. Johnson 1 for 1 for 26 yards when he hooked up with Gage West. Cano has just 1 completion as he found Brody Royer for 10 yards. But together, the 2 quarterbacks are 2 for 7 for 36 yards. Cano has been sacked twice for losses of 21 yards, so only 15 yards net passing for the Scoopers, along with 67 on the ground, 82 yards of total offense. 5 penalties for the Scoops for 44 yards against them. They picked up just 4 first downs in this first half, and they did throw the 1 interception, which was on a 4th down and very long goal-to-go play. 30-0 Governors. They do look like the Governors of old, and this is now the 2025 version. Maybe what we have looking forward. We'll ask John Calda about this again, but maybe what we've got looking forward, Coach, is maybe the Governors of old are now the new Governors of 2025. One can hope, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you start just I mean, again, we kind of look at what was happening last year, and we're kind of seeing the same stuff this year in terms of just trying to find that. Trying to find that togetherness, of this team. And I know that's always been a pretty big, quote from Coach Steele and stuff. But, she's taken some games to realize who those key players are. And, we're starting to see Lounsbury now open things up a little bit with, not just Scheffelbein, but now we're starting to see Dill just get the mix. And, we're starting to see Jaron Deal actually start to make his name in that wide receiving core a little bit, and not even as a wide receiver, but, again, carrying from the backfield along with Porter Hunsley. And, and then, a name I've been hearing for the last couple of weeks of a guy that they've got to try to get in there has been Stosher. Yeah. And it's been fun watching him that last couple series, getting that opportunity, and and again making his name. And so when you look at what the arsenal is with Merrill and everybody else, it's like, who do you cover? What do you cover? We've got speed, defense, you're going to play them soft, you're going to try to press them, put guys over top. Well, that's just going to open up somewhere else. And that's what Coach Steele and those guys do so well, is they can take a look at the defense and they're going to be like, okay, there's our pocket. As long as the boys execute that plan, it's going to work.
You name all those wide receivers, they're all producing, but you still didn't name Cooper Terwilliger.
Cooper Terwilliger, for God's sake.
Well, here's how it happened, though. Here's what happens. 3 catches, 58 yards, all in the first quarter. Sturgis is probably keying in on him and opening up the routes for these other guys, and that's how you get 5 receivers combining for 232 receiving yards for the Governors, including 3 touchdowns through the air, 2 more on the ground, and Pierre's leading this one. I should say 1 more on the ground. They're leading 30-0. Let's take a 3-minute break. We've got more of our Wealth Partners halftime coming up. We'll take a look at some of those other scores. Already one upset that we mentioned, Watertown defeating T-Area tonight. We'll check in on the rest when we come back, and we'll look at upcoming action as well. This is your Wealth Partners halftime. The Governors leading on River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
When you need building supplies, there's no need to go anywhere except to Bauman
2023
Lumber.
Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a re-carpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start stop technology. You'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierre, South Dakota.
Futures aren't made by accident. They're dreamt, they're planned, they're discovered. At Northern State University, futures are the result of hard work and grit. NSU is an academic powerhouse with a spirit of exploration and genuine support, where professors know your name and push you to discover what you're truly capable of. But don't take our word for it. When you experience Northern, you'll see the difference here.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
Farming is more than a livelihood. It's a legacy. Simplot was founded by a hardworking farmer like you over 90 years ago, and we've been growing America's farms for generations. With local crop advisors grounded in your success, Simplot Grower Solutions is in your fields and by your side. We dig in deep to pinpoint what you need, where you need it, when you need it, even when the forecast is unpredictable.
With our new online loan application, you can go to our website and apply for a loan when it's most convenient for you. We make getting loan approval fast and easy. Our local lenders are available to assist you if you have any questions. We make it pain-free to get that loan you've been wanting. We're an equal housing lender. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union since 1955. Federally insured by NCUA.
Get your sprayer ready for winter with Grossenberg Implement's Service Department Winterization Special going on now. Through October 31st, bring in your John Deere self-propelled sprayer and get discounted labor and parts rates, only $650. And that includes genuine John Deere winterization fluid for protection down to minus 40 degrees. But hurry, this offer must be completed and by October 31st, 2025 to qualify. Stop by Grossenberg Implement and see your service or parts manager today for complete details.
What if we said
Welcome back to the Owyhee
Joining us 30-0 Governors, and the offense has shown up, specifically the passing game, but other teams are showing up as well in 11 AA tonight. Let's run through the scores. A couple of them not much of a surprise, as Brandon Valley out of 11 AAA is leading Mitchell 49-7. They're later in the third period. Spearfish, no problem with Douglas tonight at halftime, leads 49-0. The Governors go to Spearfish next week, host Douglas 2 weeks from last night, so Thursday, October 23rd, the regular season will come to an end. And Yankton leading at the end of three quarters in Yankton. They lead the Brookings Bobcats 14-0, so a defensive battle going on there. But the Huron Tigers are impressing at home, leading Aberdeen Central 26-0. That one going to halftime in a minute or so. And once again, Watertown, I mentioned earlier, 16-7, defeating T-Area. In fact, it was 15-7 to be more exact. But Watertown, you talk about parity in 11 AA, one of the rare times that a road team has won in recent weeks. But Watertown getting in the mix, and they need wins to get into the top 8. And if they get a win tonight and Aberdeen lost, you probably have Watertown leaping over Aberdeen Central, getting up into the top 8 with 2 weeks to go. Other scores to look at in 11 AAA. It is Sioux Falls Roosevelt defeating Rapid City Stevens 30-22 in Sioux Falls tonight. We saw the O'Gorman Knights last week. Sioux Falls Washington has won on the O'Gorman field today, 20-17, a game that finished up earlier. Sioux Falls Lincoln leading Rapid City Central 35-14, just starting the second half, and Harrisburg on top of Sioux Falls Jefferson 21-0. That's an impressive run for Harrisburg so far early in the second quarter, the second game at Howard Wood Field tonight. A couple of other scores we'll throw out. Winter is won with a win over Lakota Tech. Clark Willow Lake over Mobridge Pollock 22-6 so far. Mobridge Pollock going into that game unbeaten. On KPLO tonight, Mount Vernon Plankinton has a 14-0 lead over Miller. They are late in the third quarter. Darren Boyle on that one. Woonsocket to Wessington Springs Sanborn Central 13-0. Chamberlain giving them a good defensive battle. In Class 9, in the 9-man ranks, looking for area scores. Kimball White Lake on top of Gregory 30-12 right now. That's impressive. And Jones County leading New Underwood at halftime, 12-8. Go Yotes in that one. And let's see, Timberlake over Gettysburg, 32-6 as they start the second half. Here's a fun one. Lyman leading Phillip, 36-34 down in Presho, halfway through the third quarter of play in that one. And the Sully Buttes Chargers are up north on KMLO, leading Harriet Selby by the score of 14-8. And that one goes into the second half right about now. We're going to the second half as well. Our Comtech opening kick coming up to start our second half of play along with John Calda. I'm Brian Oakland. The Governors will kick off with a 30-0 lead. Who knew? I'm not so sure. I think people thought that Pierre certainly would play better in this one than they have, but they played a near-perfect first half as Carter Templeton's Comtech opening kick is taken at the 11-yard line. Near side, Brody Royer running far side now as he'll cross the 25, but he can't make it to the 30. There's a bunch of Governors out there, and they all stack each other up, and finally that whistle comes in, and the Scoopers will have it to start the second half of play. John Calda, obviously the Governors are thinking more of the same. Sturgis has some adjustments to make, that's for sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Steele draws up here in this first couple series, and just who he's going to try to key in on, because it seems like that's kind of been his theme with these drives. Is last couple times been Stozier. You look at Shufflebind, look at some of those guys there, and will he be able to open things up? Yeah, we'll see what Sturgis can bring in a little bit here with that running quarterback, and maybe try to open something up there.
Yeah, Governors will try to keep bringing the heat defensively. They've been very fast tonight and up to the task. Here is Zoll Arian, I believe, on the first down carry, starting at the 27. Here we'll wrap him up for only a gain of 1 to the 28. And it's the middle of the D-line, Lathan Rounds and company, that stacks him up there. So a gain of just 1 to the and to a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, going back to your comment, I guarantee that defense isn't looking at lightening up at all. That it's always kind of one of the goals, I think, every week that every defense looks at is you're looking at shutouts. And I think Coach Lewis in the past used to usually give defensive players pizzas if they ever had a shutout. I don't know if Coach Magic has the same kind of deal going with these boys or not, but guarantee that is a goal of theirs.
Kano play action, quick fire slant looking for Royer. That's through his hands. And right at the 35-yard line. Looked like a well-run play, but maybe a little too much zip on that one, and it'll be 3rd down and 9. You telling me a wrestling coach give players pizzas after a performance?
Hey, boys got to eat. Yep, absolutely.
That doesn't happen in the winter sports season much, does
no,
it?
not at all.
So it's 3rd and 9. Yeah, and here come the Scoopers. Trips to the right, near side. They're moving west to east. There's virtually no wind tonight. Actually, the flag is outstretched to our left. Here's a pass to, again, short to Jack Jolly, a short route. And the Governor defense is up to the task to start the second half. They'll hold on a 3-and-out, an 0-for-2 trip through that first possession for Jackson Kano. Kano just looks befuddled, if I can throw that word out there. And now he's got to haul in a somewhat bad snap, but this line drive kick will bounce all the way into Pierre territory and be downed by Cole Litson at the Pierre 43-yard line. So something out of nothing on the punt, but here come the Governors, who have scored on their last 4 possessions. They've scored on 5 out of 6 possessions overall, and that includes 4 touchdowns and a field goal. They did try a 2-point conversion that failed at one point in that first half of play. So Caleb Lounsbury and company from the Governor 43-yard line. Pierre in black on black with pink trim for breast cancer awareness. The first play handoff to Carter Merrill, bouncing out to the left side, coming right at us. He'll cross the 45 to the 50 and be brought down at the 49-yard line of the Sturgis Scoopers. And a good gain on first down right off the bat for the Govs. Give him 7 here to the 50, we'll call it. Carter Merrill had a couple of 2, 3, and 3-yard runs in that first half, but everything other than that, out of 11 carries, was all 6 and 7 yards, long runs of 10 and 15. Solid game for the running game for the Governors, but it's all set up the pass, and Lounsbury wants to throw on 2nd and 3, looking long over the middle, shuffle bind coming open, and they will throw the pass. 2 officials see it. Kind of what we saw as well. There was a push from behind. Oddly enough, the pass was overthrown, I believe, by just a few yards. But the push will come from the defensive back and Seth Burton. And catchable or not, it's still PI in high school football.
Yeah, good call. I mean, it was just a little early on it. But, again, one of those situations, what do you do? I mean, as far as the defender goes, you don't defend it the way he did. He probably possibly given up a touchdown in that case. So, probably made the right call doing what he did.
So, from the 50, the Governors will get their second 15-yard helper in the last couple of minutes of game time. Of course, the first time it was in their final drive of the first half. But this time, the Govs will have it up to the 15 yards ahead, up ahead of the 35, just shy of the 34. That'll be a new first down and 10. Lounsbury again throwing exceptionally well tonight. He'll throw out to Shufflebind, far side, makes a move on a stutter step inside the 30 to the 25. Should have enough for the first down right at the 24-yard line, which is the line to gain, and they'll move the chains from there. So 10 again. And the Governors on the move to the 24 as they approach the red zone. One word we haven't used tonight, but we might as well, rhythm. And that was a good rhythmic play. Of course, that's kind of a bread and butter play for the Governor passing game this season, these little wide receiver screens, but Shufflebind looked very comfortable running after catch as well. 9:38 counting down third quarter. Here's a little pitch right side, short side of the field, but to the far side as Carter Merrill will take the cutback up the alley between the numbers and the hash marks. He reaches the 20, is stopped at the 19. Pick up 5, 2nd and 5. And Sturgis defense, probably a frustrated bunch after that first half, but if this continues and if the Governors score on this drive, they'll just, that probably just continues to, shoulders drooping, hands on hips, things like that. What are we supposed to do? But we'll see how it goes. They'll fake the pitch. Lounsbury's rolling out left. Again, he's got a man wide open. Jaron Deal, 15 to the 10. He's met up at the 5 and brought down by Seth Burton inside the 5, all the way down to the 2, in fact, as he falls forward for 17 yards and another first down.
Yeah, and if you're Sturgis, you almost got to, you got to change that defense up just a little bit, even just movement and just decoying situations. It just, we're watching corners right now that are playing about 10 yards off, and you're giving those little 5-yard screens almost at will. I guarantee if Lounsbury wanted to throw those all night, he probably could.
Lounsbury, another nice throw against the grain, across his body, rolling to the left. Tough throw for a right-handed thrower, but he's hitting his guys in stride. First and goal from the 2. Merrill in the backfield. He hasn't scored yet. He won't score on this one. It's a play-action rollout, and there's Cooper Terwilliger. Well, Cooper doesn't have a lot of touchdowns this year, but an easy play this time. This little bootleg rollout. Cooper Terwilliger releases. He's wide open. Lounsbury feeds him. Quarterback touchdown pass number 4. The Governors lead 36-0.
Yeah, just picking on a defensive end in that case. I'm sure his eyes were wide open, thinking he had free reign at the quarterback, not realizing he released, Terwilliger into the end zone untouched there.
Templeton's kick is up and good. Make it 37 on the board. The Governors are past the 35-point mercy roll. We'll have a running clock when we come back after the 8:13 mark, a 30-second break, a Pierre Governor kick when we return. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
First Dakota has been lockup money. It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Running clock rule come into effect when a team is up by 35 points or more in the second half. The clock will run even when first downs are picked up or plays go out of bounds or even when passes are ruled incomplete. The only things that will stop the clock are timeouts or scoring plays or let's hope not, but injuries would qualify as well. Templeton short kick taken at the 15 on the run far side. And the return man is run out of bounds. It looked like Royer had the kick returned from the far side as well for the Sturgis Scoopers. Brody Royer's been a busy guy, but for the wrong reason as far as Sturgis is concerned. Scoops will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And again, even now, changes of possession. The clock is running. So we'll call it the 8-minute mark to start this possession. Still would like to see Sturgis try to be able to do something or anything, get something going. This team, I just feel, is too good to be set with nothing. The pass is tipped, and there's Hunsley to pick it off. It might have been Sonnenschein with the tip. Porter Hunsley still on his field. 20 to the 15, near side to the 10, down near the 5-yard line. The pass was overthrown. Kano looking for his tight end, I believe, over the middle. And it was tipped by Sutton Sonnenschein. Porter Hunsley, who has his second interception, there's a post-possession penalty on the field, and maybe the Governors with a block in the back. So Hunsley, who ran all the way down inside the 5-yard line, is probably going to have his team come all the way back. Spot foul is the 32, so it looks like Pierre football at the Sturgis 42-yard line. Second takeaway for the Governor defense, both of them with Porter Hunsley interceptions. And by the way, John Calder, we talked about it off the break. I might as well say it. I mean, Caleb Lounsbury's been playing great, but he has a player of the game t-shirt already this season. Porter Hunsley's just playing the game of his life tonight.
Yeah, lights out tonight. Absolutely.
So here from the Sturgis 42, the Governors have it. We've got 6:16 to go. Quarter number 3, Merrill busts out of the line. 40, 30, near side.
He's got,
he stepped on the sideline at about the 22. He loses his balance. Just one little step on the white line. The crowd might think it's a touchdown, but you and I both saw it from the near side here. He does step on the line. And another nice burst here for Carter Merrill, who obviously, oddly enough, has been somewhat quiet so far tonight. Hard to be quiet when you got 72 yards of rushing offense in one half of play, but Carter Merrill will pick up 20 yards on this one. It'll be first down Governors. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 22. And all he did was just lose his balance, but he busted through that line once again. Lounsbury out far side. There's Deal, but there's flags all over. Couple of them thrown here. Of course, as I follow the ball, I didn't see any penalties. What did you see?
Yeah, no, Erin was kind of coming off the edge, blitzing off the edge there. And I'm trying to look at the number here real quick. But, Colton Cash just kind of had to do what he had to do in that case, protect his quarterback, and just a little hold on the outside.
Well, if he's protecting the quarterback, he did the right thing.
100%.
Right? So inside of 5 minutes to go, the clock running in the third, even as penalties are called here. But the Governors will have their first penalty of the second half, their 5th in the game. This one marks them back 10 yards to the 32-yard line. Make it 1st and 20. Governors have needed a bigger challenge, I guess, if you want to look at it that way, because they've just played by far and away their best football game of the season. I would even put that first half, this one, better than last week's first half when they were kind of owning an 11 AAA team. Here's Merrill again, 30, 25, near side, cut back at the 20, and to the 10, still on his feet as he drags him in for a few more yards down to the 7-yard line. And Carter Merrill just finds running lanes where there really don't seem to be any, but still, he's got 25 yards down to the 7. Govs in the red zone again, and Carter Merrill now officially over 100 yards on the night. We got him, 129 yards on 15 carries. Some quick Riggs High math there. He does not have a touchdown tonight, though. I thought they might give him an opportunity last time. We'll see if
there might be one here,
see if they set him up with an opportunity here. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. 3.5 to go, 37-0. Governors, and counting, perhaps. Here comes the pitch, right side, up the middle of the field. Merrill straight ahead, untouched for 7. 7 yards and 6 points. Touchdown, Governors. That's a good opportunity to talk about the offensive line here, Coach K. And, Carter Merrill starts right. He cuts up. He makes his cutback, and he's just got a Red Sea opened up for him to waltz 7 yards in for the score.
And who actually reached the end zone before he did? And that was Max Schmitz. He was actually taking his guy and driving him back 7-8 yards, and that's what you love to see out of that offensive lineman.
Another PAT makes it +1. The Governors lead the Scoopers 44-0, and we'll probably see the second stringers when we come back after a 30-second break. Sturgis will try again with 3:19 to go, third quarter. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
At Ringneck Energy,
Back to the Owyhee Federal Credit
Union Stadium at Hollister Field. I guess maybe it's the pink. The Governor's donning the pink trim in their black on black jerseys, but here up in the booth, John Calda and I, maybe some of the fans down below wondering, is it 2025 or is it maybe 2022 or 2019? Because this Pierre Governor squad has just played absolute lights out football tonight. Sturgis, you get to this point and sometimes you just feel for a team that's obviously snake bitten. They're just absolutely nothing that they've been able to do to get any kind of offense going. The Governor defense, just too good. The Governor offense, just too good. This Sturgis team is better than what we've seen tonight. And they know it themselves, I'm sure.
And the one thing you brought up earlier in the broadcast was just who's going to have to adjust. And, we're not having to adjust. We're making adjustments on the field, but now you're looking at Sturgis who's having to do something that's completely unorthodox for them and, trying to hit a bunch of slant routes and stuff like that. And you can just tell that's not their style of football. So, again, just kind of looking at them, they're, just even go back to the first possession, us taking the ball and getting the ball in our hands right away and coming down in 3 plays and scoring. It's just those little things can just really knock a team down and knock them down early.
Carter Templeton's kick goes far side and on 3 hops will trickle out of bounds. So Sturgis will have it presumably at about the 35-yard line. And they'll have it 1st and 10. And once the clock running continually, the Governor's up on top by 35 plus. And we'll see some people coming in. Of course, the defense looks like it's going to be most of the same players. The starting crew's still out there for the Govs. But just as Pierre was preparing to score that last touchdown on offense, there was a big huddle right down below us, and that seemed to be the second stringers who were being prepared by the coaching staff to come in and play. Coach Magic has to look at Max Schmitz and say, get your butt in there.
Not making that move quite yet.
They still have the first stringers in there for the D. 3:17 to go. It's third quarter. Govs led 30 Rock at halftime. They've added on a couple of scores. It's 44-0 Pierre. Jackson Kano alone in the backfield. This might be Tate Johnson, the backup quarterback. He'll roll out. It is Johnson, tucking, running to the 40, makes a move and avoids major contact. It's Porter Hunsley to run him out of bounds. Tate Johnson, a freshman. I'll just say it right now. The future's bright in the quarterback position for these Sturgis Scoopers. He's only played a few plays, but he's shown good things. He tucks and runs for 6 in this instance. Threw a nice 26-yard pass over the middle, which is kind of what Sturgis has tried to do. We've seen some overthrows, but Johnson will run this sequence. 2:35 counting down. He'll throw short in the screen. There's Royer, but he runs right in to, that's Cruz Williams again. Sophomore getting some time on the D-line and making a difference here. Royer comes across the middle, and usually pass catchers have a lot of running room when they get those underneath routes, but Williams just had other ideas.
Yeah, they tried to run just a little bit of a screen there, but Cruz kind of sniffed that out and just did the right thing, sat still instead of going back after the quarterback, and was able to shut that play down pretty quickly.
Gain of a yard, 3rd and 3, under 2 minutes to play in the third. From the near hash mark, Johnson alone in the backfield again. Pump fake, and he decides against it. It might have been a good decision, but he'll take a sack here back inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Third sack of a Sturgis quarterback tonight by the Governor defense. This one loses 4. And the Scoopers will swap personnel and bring in the punting unit, including the regular quarterback, Jackson Kano, who is the punter as well. Governors don't have anybody back deep yet. Here comes Hudson Stoser. And out goes Logan Whitty. Pierre still has 11 guys. This is a short punt again by Kano, but yet again, another good bounce for Sturgis. And here comes Hudson Stoser. He takes it on a couple of hops, crosses the 35, but then is hit. Good job by Sturgis to realize that Stoser had come up and wanted to make a play and maybe get a good run back. But they will drop him at the 36-yard line. So now the Governors with 49 seconds to go in a fast-moving third quarter because of the timing rules, or the mercy rules, that is. Pierre will have it at their own 36-yard line. And we'll get to know some new people. Jaron Deal going to be the backup quarterback. He'll come in and run the show now with the second string. 3 receivers will go right, 1 to the left. High snap. Handoff is made. This is Thomas Snyder. That a nice little juking and jiving, nifty little run for Snyder. It was a 165-pound sophomore. He'll cross the 40, get the 41. Nope, that's Kea Duchino. 23 out there. Snyder generally been the backup. Of course, Duchino, who started the season as the starting tailback, will pick up 5, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter in this one, and the Governors continue to roll. It's 44-0 our score on a Gales Gas Service scoreboard, sponsored by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. We pause for 60 seconds. The fourth is coming up. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football and your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Ready to gain an edge.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast or call 888-422-1410.
Out of that quarter break, first play of the fourth quarter has Jaron Deal rolling to the right, and unfortunately, we didn't get to call it, but Cole Litzen undercuts the pass, and Jaron Deal has thrown an interception. Sturgis will take over at the Pierre 49-yard line. So, Litzen, who couldn't make a couple of catches earlier in the game on offense, makes a nice receive this time on the defensive side, and the first turnover of the game by the Governors will give it over to the Scoopers. So with 11:19 to play, Sturgis with another opportunity to try to make some things happen here, and this is their best starting field position of the night. The first time they'll start in Pierre territory. The best field position they've had before this actually has been the 35-yard line. What a difference that makes. This is Johnson throwing out far side and just a little too tall for Ethan Graff, the wide receiver. And John Calda, if I tell you, after, 10 or, I don't know, 9 or 10 possessions at the best field position you would have as your own 35-yard line, you're probably thinking that's going to be a little difficult.
Yeah, and where'd that come from? That was from, again, our kick out of bounds. They gave them that 35 yards too.
You're right,
so again, It's just, they're just not able to get anything going on that kick return, and just, again, showing the high potent offense that we have and not giving many opportunities.
Hey, Johnson was 2 for 2. That's his first incompletion on the night. 2 receivers wide right, 2 bunched up to the near side left. Johnson looks left, throws right, single coverage. He'll get doubled up. The pass is just a little bit off of the outstretched fingertips of the intended receiver. Beautiful pass by Tate Johnson, a big freshman. Gage West is the intended receiver. And that one falls incomplete inside the 10-yard line. I said it before, I'll say it again. Bright future, but man, that's a good arm for a freshman quarterback.
That's a pretty ball right there.
6'1", 171. Actually, from up here, he looks bigger than that. Tate Johnson, but it's 3rd and 10 now. From the 49-yard line, this will be a dump off out to the right side, but Zoll Arian heard footsteps, and he's not able to bring this one in either. So 3 straight incompletions. And it'll be 4th down. Looks like the Scoopers are going to go in punt formation. Kano comes in to punt, but now he's being asked to go back to the sidelines, and Johnson serves as the backup punter as well. A little surprised they're not going for this. They've obviously got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Of course, you still have a quarterback into punt. That means any number of things can happen, including a high snap. Johnson has to run it down, and he'll fall on it finally at the 22-yard line of the Sturgis Scoopers. And I'll tell you what, if you're Sturgis, when it rains, it pours, man. And here at Hollister Field, we've had a lot of downpours, it seems, this season, but nothing like what we're seeing tonight. A high punt snap, probably a second string line, maybe a second string long snapper. We just give them the benefit of the doubt, but a bad punt snap, and the Governors have it 1st and 10 at the Scooper 22-yard line. 8:22 to go. On the play, Sturgis loses 29 yards. And Jaron Deal will take the snap. He'll hand off to Kia Duchesneau. He'll get inside the 20, be stacked up there. And we'll get to some more names and numbers in here for Sturgis. Brody Boulot in on the stop. Jens Iverson, both are starters. Good to see Duchesneau getting some running opportunities. He's inside the 20 to the 18, a pickup of 4, 2nd and 10 for the Governors. And the second stringers want to get in there as well. Inside the red zone. 7.5 minutes to go. 44-0 Govs. Here's a pitch to Duchesneau. Stops quickly. Cuts back. 15. 10. Down near the 5. He's brought down at about the 7. Duchesneau stopped on a dime and cut back. Brody Royer finally gets to him, but that's a gain of 11. Kia Duchesneau, the things that he was doing in the first few ball games, he just got better and better, and he still looks like he's got good things ahead.
Yeah, there wasn't much of an opening there either. He was just able to just pick one little spot there just to knife through and get some good positive yards.
So it's 1st and goal at the 7-yard line, moving to our right. High snap, but Deal's got this one. Kea straight ahead this time. He'll get the 5. Not much more. Good job by the Sturgis defense this time. And Gage West is in there. I saw Robert Sperling coming away from the pack. Duchesneau for a couple. 2nd and goal. Coming down to the 6.5, well, less than 6.5 to play in the 4th quarter. Pierre goes to Spearfish, their final road game of the regular season next week. Here goes Duchesneau again, but good pursuit this time. That's Boulot again. Teaming up with Zoel Arian in on the stop. Kia Duchesneau stopped for a gain of 0 this time, and it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 5. So 5 carries for Kia Duchesneau in mop-up duty here, 20 yards total. Governor JVs have been playing pretty well this season, but they want to get a varsity touchdown here. There goes Deal near side and through the hands of the intended receiver at the pylon. At the goal line, coverage was good. Who we got? 40, 41?
Number 40.
That's Jagger Gardner. Sophomore wideout. The pass was thrown pretty hard and the coverage was good, but that's the incomplete pass. And the Governors will try one more time to punch one in from the 5-yard line. 5:14. Actually, the clock had stopped, but then it went from 5:14 to 5:11. Sometimes it does that.
It glitches a little.
3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Jaron Deal alone in the backfield. He'll take the snap, throws over the middle, and again, good coverage, and Sturgis will defend at the goal line. This pass intended for the tight end, Alec Eilers, 190-pound sophomore. So 4 and out from the 5-yard line after a promising start. And Jaron Deal with a couple of incompletions there, but still good experience for that group of guys. Sturgis has poor field position yet again. They'll start at their own 5-yard line with 4.5 minutes to go in this one. They're huddled up on the far side. I mentioned earlier, Pierre will go to Spearfish. Sturgis heads across the state. They go to Watertown. Of course, Watertown pitches a big shutout tonight. I should say a big upset at T area, 15-7, beating the Titans. So Watertown's getting into the parity conversation now in Class 11 AA. Jackson Cano is back into quarterback. Inside handoff, though, goes nowhere. It actually goes further out to the right side, but as far as upfield, it won't go anywhere. Zoel Arian stopped at the line of scrimmage. Just been an amazing game for the Governors. Offense, defense, and special teams. Everybody's chipping in, and when we get to the post game, it's going to be hard to know where to begin for Coach Steve Steele, and we might just have to cover all three phases one at a time. High snap, but a short one, and it's taken, and the pass is short-hopped out to the right side. This is not Kano quarterbacking. It's another backup QB, Wyatt Marler, 155-pound junior. Wears number 5. And he will throw one incomplete, just short of his intended receiver. Third quarterback used by the Scoopers tonight. And again, this is what you might call garbage time, but in the same sense, it seems like they just have to try everything, anything and everything, just to get something positive to happen tonight. We've got a whistle from somewhere on the field. Oh, we got a wardrobe malfunction, it looks like, for Trace Prescott, one of the receivers on the left side. So they will, they didn't stop the clock on that, continually running. Pierre leads 44-0. It's 3rd and 10 from the Sturgis 5-yard line. Wyatt Marler into the end zone, backpedaling, but now out of there as he tucks and runs. Made a quick decision there. Comes out across the 5. He'll make it to the 8, maybe the 9. Positive gain, but certainly not a situation or a spot on the field where the Scoopers will want to go for it. They get 3, but it's 4th and 7 at the 8. Well, you're only as good as your last game, and right now, Coach, the Governors might be the best team in the state the way they played tonight, but we'll see what happens next week when they go to Spearfish. We'll talk about that after this punt, which is muffed at the 40-yard line. Loose ball on the field. And the Governors, possibly with a mistake, they're saying Sturgis football. Pierre will lose it on the fumble. The turnover. And I believe... Well, no, now they're saying Pierre football.
Yeah, I thought we landed on that, yeah.
Okay. So, back to that point as before Pierre gets going again, but, man, Spearfish might be a different beast because they're in the parity discussion as well, but you just obviously don't know what you're going to get anytime you step on the field right now.
No, but, I mean, questions we were kind of asking beginning of the game when we started the broadcast, one of them's definitely been answered in terms of, just efficient offense that we've ran. We know what we got with our defense when it comes to it. And again, the defense has always been, for the last 10 to 12 years, it's kind of been that, just that staple. It's just been a really good part of the football team for us. And the one in question was our offense. And tonight, again, we're just showing, it's just coming together. It's coming together at the right time for us.
So the Governors have it, and, we started with 1:14 left. The Governors can kneel on this one a couple of times. And this one will be in the books. Jaron Deal takes one knee, and I don't think he'll have to do it again. In fact, Pierre fans coming to their feet, plenty of applause, and boy, do their kids deserve it. These Pierre Governors, I think we can say it. I'm not going to say they're number one right now, but they are. They played their best game of the season tonight, and they looked like a team on a mission. All of a sudden, these frustrations of how the last 2 games have ended probably have something to do with that. I would say the focus was top-notch all week long in practice, and it certainly was there all night long tonight. The Scoopers are left with a goose egg on the board. Your final score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard: Pierre 44 and the Sturgis Scoopers nothing. The team that knocked off the Yankton Bucks a week ago held punchless tonight here at Hollister Field in the capital city. 44-0. Final score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. when it eventually gets cold, and I'm okay with it not being all that cold, but when it does, use Gale's Gas Service, their budget plan, and keep full service to stay warm all season long with Gale's Gas Service in Pierre. Plenty to talk about when we come back after a 3-minute break. We'll get into Postgame. Postgame sponsored by Family Dental, offices in Pierre and in Gettysburg. Chat with the head coach, Steve Steele. Fist bumps to the assistant coaches. They wrap up with our assistant coach ourselves, John Calda, coming up. We've got Hermanson Endodontics, big plays of the game, and there were plenty. And we've got your Cowboy Country Store's player of the game, all coming up part of the wrap-up, the Family Dental postgame. In 3 minutes, Governor Football is on your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Dr. Ryan and
Machinery Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Titan Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit titanmachinery.com/careers to learn more.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs, there's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Most people don't think about their furnace until it's not working, but we do. At Pite Service Experts, we are trained to see what others miss. Airflow restrictions, pressure imbalances, heat exchanger flaws. That's how we catch little issues before they become cold nights and costly repairs. Because keeping your home warm takes more than just a toolbox. Our certified technicians will get your system running at peak condition. Call Pite Service Experts for our special $99 precision tune-up today. Call 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
For over 70
Welcome
years.
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Well, how about that? Coming back with some spooky music, and the way this one was tonight, I think for the Scoopers, it could have been a bit of a spooky night. It's just and it's kind of eerie, I think, for Pierre Governor fans because it just seems like the Governors of old. Now, JW, John Calda, we're looking at a Pierre team that you go back to the beginning of the season, and the Governors were ranked number one. A lot of people expecting huge things from the Governors, and I know Governor fans are expecting huge things despite the championship loss from a season ago. And I'm not going to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but right now, last year it was the Sturgis game that seemed to be the turning point. The Governors snapped a 4-game losing streak, went on all the way to the Dome. Of course, they're coming in on a 2-game skid in this one, but 3 losses on the season, which I'm sure they feel they should have won all 3 of them given a few circumstances. But right now, it just seems like it's a huge statement made by the Governors saying, yeah, we've arrived. And, a good Sturgis team just had nothing against the Governors in any of 3 phases of this game tonight.
Yeah, we always have a target on our back. Just even from last year, starting out the way that we did, but just how we carried that momentum going into the playoffs, eventually getting back to the Dome again. And it's just, I think people are just waiting, not for the if, but the when. And again, we just start looking at this year, and tonight I think was that when we're starting to turn that corner and finally starting to fire on all cylinders.
Last week it's mistakes, a few penalties to kill some drives and things like that. And whatever the reason that these 3 losses have come, they all were wiped away with one ball game here tonight.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about with this AA set up right now. It's you can afford to take a couple of those losses and learn from them and still get yourself into that playoff contention. And obviously the goal now is home field advantage and just keep winning out and getting that. And any of the games that you get at home field, obviously it's home field advantage for a reason. And it's that that's kind of what we're looking at next. So. Yeah, just pretty impressed. Start looking at defensive side, obviously winning that side of the game. Start looking offensive side. Obviously, you'll talk about stats here later, but even just the special team side of things. Offense wins games, defense wins championships, but you can win all 3 facets of the game. It's going to be pretty tough to lose any.
And right now, it just seems like sure the Govs had the momentum all night long, but momentum is a thing from one week to the next, and that's what they'll be looking for when they make the road trip and a tough game next week too.
Yeah, I can imagine. Film probably going to be a little bit better on Monday morning. Now, kids watching that, looking at all the positives, still probably looking at some of the negatives that are coming to play, but might be a little bit different light in the room here next week. So,
all right, JW, appreciate you working with us again. We'll maybe see you next week if things go right. And certainly 2 weeks from now when we're back home against the Douglas Patriots. John Wayne Calda with expert analysis tonight. We have to kick him out of the room because Coach Steve Steele is up here as well, part of our Family Dental postgame as he dons the headset. Governors beat the Sturgis Scoopers tonight 44-0. Coach Steele, is it 2025 or is it 2019 or 2022 or something like that? Because just almost a perfect football game for you guys tonight. And like Coach Calda and I are talking about, it just seemed like a perfect game in not just 1 or 2, but all 3 phases of this game tonight.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Obviously, we've been begging for that, all year so far. And, we've had flashes of what you've seen tonight. We just didn't have a full, consistent game of it. And, that's a really good picture of what we can be, and that's the exciting part as a coach. And hopefully for the guys and hopefully for the fans is, we do that. We're going to be tough to beat.
I'm going to start with special teams. And the reason that is because Sturgis, with all of the peer starters out there tonight, worst starting field position for the Scoopers, with a kick out of bounds when they started at their own 35. Otherwise, you're covering everything up. They're starting in the 20s, and you win field position, and even had them starting in their own red zone once. That's where it begins if you look at it in that regard.
Yeah, Carter Templeton had a phenomenal game of kicking the ball off. We asked to do a lot of directional stuff today, and he was spot on. The one kind of towards the end there gets away a little bit, goes out of bounds, but really no threat of a return for the most part, and that was obviously the primary goal in doing that.
So then the defense, of course, pitches the shutout, and I'm sure you go into halftime and you're up 30-0, and I'll bet the defensive guys were saying, "Hey, they don't get anything tonight," and you still had that goal coming out, and it showed after halftime, even when you get continually running clock.
Yeah, the guys, they were really motivated just to again show that you can do it. Trying to think back, I don't know if we had one last year. I can't remember if we did, so it's been a long time coming for that. And, really proud of that group of coaches, that group of kids, just finding a way to, again, you kind of got Harry there again at the end of the first half to get down the red zone. But, very proud of the guys. They busted 2 or 3, pretty good sized plays, and the pursuit on those, forcing them to make another play, to get into the end zone. That was such a huge job by those guys, and, just locked in all day long, being able to force them to make sure they had to go the full length of the field.
And defensively, there's a lot of great players, great plays made by a lot of kids tonight, just a total team effort. But then you look on that offensive side, and everything looked so smooth. The running game was solid, but the passing game looked as good as we've seen all year. And Caleb Lounsbury, right off the bat, his first few passes were just on target. And, he's been hit and miss a couple of times here and there, maybe overthrowing, but he was hitting guys in numbers all night long. What a performance from your quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he was great, and I think the first drive was really important. They did a great job. They had their plan.
There's a reason you chose to receive tonight, wasn't
yes, there was. But we knew they were going to bring some pressure, and they did a pretty good job dialing up a couple blitzes the first couple plays. And, you saw Caleb really maneuver within the pocket. He maneuvers out to the right the first play and hit Coop. He maneuvered out to the left and hit Jaron, I believe.
I think that was a 25-yarder to shuffle behind.
Oh, yeah, it was Carter coming across. Yeah,
and that was the amazing thing. The way he's throwing against his body tonight just looks like an easy part of his repertoire, too.
Yeah, and but that's such a hard play to be able to do that. But that was a really good thing that you haven't seen always all the time with him was the maneuverability to still be able to keep his eyes downfield and get the ball down and get the ball out. And when he throws in rhythm, he was on today for sure.
4 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers and 5 guys making significant plays through the air on the receiving end. Again, total team effort. And, of course, that starts with the O-line, too.
Yeah, again, there wasn't a whole lot that there's still stuff we can clean up. There was plays that, we didn't like, but at the same point in time, we wanted to be aggressive tonight, and, he really did a good job being aggressive and throwing strikes, and our guys didn't drop many.
Yeah, and so he has a great game, but still there was this number 14 who was, John Caldas said he was flying tonight. Porter Hunsley was everywhere. And again, on offense when he needed, but especially defense, and he was the guy who was really doing most of the door slamming in the special teams return game for Sturgis also.
Yeah, he really is a jack of all trades, he's a guy that can kind of play wherever.
Yeah.
He's played not so much corner this year. He's corner last year. He's played safety mostly. He's come down in the box. He plays on special teams. We've obviously got his package on offense. He's just a heck of an athlete, and we're thankful that he's able to absorb as much as he can so that he can do so many different things.
Other guys who deserve individual accolades tonight. We called backups like Cruz Williams. We called his name a couple of times too.
Yeah, I would say Cruz had a really good game, and he's someone that's really come on, over the last couple of games, starting to get a few more reps defensively. He's in that when Porter goes in at quarterback, he goes in as an extra lineman as well. He's doing really, really well. But the one thing that we kind of talked about this before the game was, hey, we're going to be aggressive, not sure who's going to get what shots, but when you get your shot, you got to make it count. And Lincoln Dilgis on that one goal ball, he knows he's not getting a ton of opportunities all the time, and he got that one and he made the most of it. That was, I don't know how far, 30, 40 yards.
36 yards.
That was not an easy catch.
Great coverage too on that play.
So, and that was a great job by Caleb, just giving him a shot to go make a play, and then, again, Lincoln being ready for the moment to go make that play.
Yeah, man, it was just such a fun game to watch, a fun game to call. It's got Governor fans and Governor players and coaches confident, I'm sure, to move ahead to another tough game. Now, the road games, the road teams in this parity-filled 11AA have had their struggles. Watertown actually gets an upset over T tonight. You probably know about that already. Yeah. But you've got to go on the road and play a tough Spearfish team to kind of finish off your regular season, so to speak. And you got to be looking forward to that opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. We knew going into this game. We were the 6th, I think, in power points with Sturgis and Spearfish 4 and 5. So. I would assume math would work the same way you'd hope it would work. And if we beat both of them, we should climb those 2 spots and get a home game for the first round.
Well,
here.
And those 2 teams still play each other in Week 9 also coming up too. Coach, it's been a pleasure watching this one, and we'll let you go, and we'll see you next week. Job well done.
Sounds good. Thank you.
44-0, the Governors defeat the Sturgis Scoopers tonight. Let's take a 3-minute break, and we're back with more of our Family Dental Postgame. We'll give you the stats and the recap, plus big plays and your player of the game, all still to come. Family Dental Postgame. In 3 minutes, this is Pierre Governor Football.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Do you love watching high school sports but find yourself wanting to be more involved? LiveTicket.tv has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 per hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 2. That's 833-605-5483, extension 2. And punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. The garage doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
I'm Scott Nye. As a coach for the Pierre Governors, I know a winning game plan is crucial. When it comes to your finances, you deserve one too. At New Edge Advisors, our name is new, but our commitment to you isn't. We're the same trusted team you've known, and we've expanded our playbook of resources to help you plan for retirement, manage investments, and protect your future. Let's build the strategy that gets your financial future into the end zone.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it to replay this game. See live and archive video of all games. And when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota High School sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play. Quality comes first at Hermanson Endodontics. Dr. Brian Hermanson serves Central South Dakota with specialty root canal treatment. Hermanson Endodontics strives to provide treatment that's not only comfortable, but also provides the best possible outcome. They do this by effective and timely communication with your dentist and preserving as much healthy tooth as possible using state-of-the-art three-dimensional imaging and the dental operating microscope to guide diagnosis and treatment. Ask your dentist if a root canal specialist is right for you. Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre.
William Wilson putting the Halloween music out there. Well, it's Halloween month. It's not too early, is it? Brian Oakland back here at Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field. Governors knocking off Sturgis tonight handily, 44-0. And you just heard from Hermanson Endodontics and Pierre. They sponsor big plays in the game, and let's give you some big plays in this one. I think it starts right off the bat. The Governors win the opening toss. They elect to receive. A couple of times this year they've chosen to defer. For example, in the Yankton game a couple of weeks ago, that didn't really work out. Yankton had a 21-0 lead before the Governors got on the board. Almost came back and won that game, but tonight they wanted to throw that first punch, hit the opponent in the mouth, so to speak, and 4 plays and 55 yards, no problem. Caleb Lounsbury for 31 yards to Carter Scheffelbein, who just continues to make it look easy in the receiving game this season for the Governors, and that was Scheffelbein, again, from 31 yards out, but every one of 5 different receivers made big plays. Cooper Terwilliger at a 29-yarder, Lincoln Dilgis a 36-yard catch to set up a touchdown. Hudson Stoser with a couple of nice plays, 20 and 16 yards, including that 16-yard score. Jaron Deal had a touchdown catch. Cooper Terwilliger did have a 2-yard touchdown, but he made bigger and better catches, so to speak, in the first half. And I did ask Coach Steele off the mic during that break, did it seem that with Cooper Terwilliger catching 3 passes early in the first quarter, that Sturgis's defense was really cheating his way? And he said, sure, the Sturgis safeties were really keying in on Terwilliger, and that did open things up for Dilgis and especially for Hudson Stoser and Jaron Deal the rest of the way. So big plays through the passing game tonight for the Pierre Governors. The running game had good things as well, and certainly a couple of interceptions on defense by Porter Hunsley. Some big plays, including one in the end zone that even though it was 4th and goal from the 32 for Sturgis at that point at the end of the first half, if you want to pitch a shutout, obviously picking a ball off in the end zone is a good way to help do that as well. Big plays brought to you by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre, part of our post-game show. Here's how it all happened. We mentioned the 31-yarder from Lounsbury to Shufflebind to start things off. That came at the 10:42 mark, but after back-to-back-to-back punts, the Governors got it again, and a 10-play, 71-yard drive ended in a field goal. Carter Templeton hit one from 23 yards out to make it 10-0 early in the second quarter. The Governors' next possession goes 4 plays, 51 yards. It's Lounsbury to Jaron Deal from 10 yards out, and Templeton made it 17-0, 8:10 to go. Sturgis gets into Pierre territory but stalls at the 38 on downs, and the Governors go 4 plays and 62 yards, ending in a Jaron Deal 6-yard touchdown run out of the Wildcat. But again, he's the backup quarterback, and we'll see a lot of running from him in the next couple of years. That makes it 23-0, and then Porter Hunsley intercepted that Sturgis pass in the end zone that we talked about a little bit ago. That put Pierre up at the 20-yard line with a touchback and only 45 seconds left, and this is where it seemed like it was Pierre of old. 6 plays, 80 yards in just 39 seconds. The 45-second drill run to perfection. Lounsbury hits Hudson Stoser on the skinny post over the middle, 16 yards out on that one, and it made it 30-0 at halftime. Things didn't quit for the Govs on defense when the second half started. First drive for the Scoopers ends in a 3-and-out. They punted. The Governors go 57 yards in 5 plays. Caleb Lounsbury hits Cooper Terwilliger for a 2-yard touchdown. Cooper hasn't had a lot of scoring catches this season, so that was a good opportunity to get him one. He gets one from 2 yards to make it 37-0. Now we've got continually running clock. First play of the ensuing drive, a tipped pass up in the air, and I was trying to remember who got the tip, but Porter Hunsley was there, Johnny on the spot once again to get his second interception of the game, and he returned it all the way down inside the 5, but a penalty block in the back put it back to the 42-yard line for the Governors. No matter, they go 3 plays, 42 yards in 3 minutes of continually running clock, and their first rushing touchdown of the night comes from Carter Merrill from 7 yards out to make it 44-0. That at 3:19 to go, and the Governor defense pitches a 3-and-out one more time. And then Jaron Deal in at quarterback did throw a pick in the early goings on of the fourth quarter, but there was no scoring the rest of the way. Sturgis just could not get anything done. In fact, they did not pick up a single first down in that second half of play, and the Governor's second string was able to run out the string as it was here in this one. And overall, I mean, 44-0 shutout is only part of the story. The other part to me is the stats, and these are unofficial, of course, but I have Pierre at 432 total yards in this one. Sturgis, 60. It just was not Sturgis's night. We know that they're a better football team than they showed tonight, but the Governors just played, like I said, a near perfect football game. 161 on the ground for the Govs, 136 for Carter Merrill, the senior running back, with 16 carries and 136 yards, including a 7-yard touchdown. Kia Duchino in backup mop-up duty has 20 yards on 5 carries. Jaron Deal, 2 carries, 5 yards, including a 6-yard score. Porter Hunsley with a no-gainer on his only carry of the night. But through the air, it's the Caleb Lounsbury show. Caleb passing, total stats are going to go, Lounsbury himself, 16 of 21 for 261 on the game. Only 5 incomplete passes. Jaron Deal did go 0 for 3 in reserve duty, including an interception, but 261 total through the air. Carter Shufflebind, 5 catches, 79 yards, including a 31-yard touchdown. Cooper Terwilliger, 60 yards on 4 catches and a 2-yard touchdown. Jaron Deal, 5 catches, 40 yards, and a 10-yard touchdown. Lincoln Dilgis, 1 catch, 36 yards to set up a touchdown inside the 10-yard line. Hudson Stoser, 2 catches, 36 yards, and a 16-yard touchdown right before halftime. I mean, it's just everybody contributing tonight. And in the way I'm describing this, I'm not trying to over-embellish it. I'm just in continual awe of what we saw from the Governors tonight in this case. 5 penalties tonight were 40 yards marked off, but 18 first downs, only 1 turnover for the Governors. Meanwhile, for the Scoopers, again, just snake-bitten tonight. Zoel Arian, 63 yards rushing on 10 carries, and Peter Pye, 2 carries for 4 yards. Quarterback, third stringer, Wyatt Marler with a 3-yard carry. And then it goes negative from there. Jackson Kano minus 3 yards on 3 carries. And Tate Johnson, who was a backup punter, had 3 carries for 10 yards, but then I've got to give him a loss of 29 on a high punt snap when he was the punter. He falls on it, but that puts him at minus 19 yards. So 48 yards rushing in this one for Sturgis. Through the air, 3 quarterbacks combined to go 3 of 16 for just 37 yards. And the Governors get to those quarterbacks 3 times for losses of 25 yards. So there's only 12 yards net passing against 48 yards rushing, 60 total yards. Gage West did have a nice 26-yard receive. Brody Royer, 2 catches for 11 yards. 4 first downs in the game for Sturgis, none in the second half. 2 turnovers on Porter Hunsley. Interceptions taken away by the Governors. It's all Pierre in this one, 44-0. And of course, we've heard the big plays of the game from Hermanson into Dontix in Pierre. We've also had plenty of right on the money, Rounds Financial Services right on the money highlight plays. Most of those coming in that first half as well. Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. So with that, let's talk about your player of the game. Players of the game are brought to you by Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Your player of the game is next here in Governor Football.
Anytime is a good time for Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Fall means hunting, sporting events, school activities. It means busy. Delicious, on-the-go, fresh foods from Cowboy Country Stores make life easy. Delight in the Champs Chicken Tenders Special. 6 tenders, just $8. 8 for $10 and 10 for $12. Add delicious sides and you're set. Convenience with a capital C. Cowboy Country Stores and Champs Chicken.
Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre, and we look at up and down that Pierre lineup, and there are a lot of player of the game worthy performances here tonight, but I think you look right at Caleb Stoltenberg with his performance. Another question I asked the coach off the mic after our interview here in postgame was, is this the best game he's ever had? And he said, well, even the coach agreed that this might be, throwing-wise, Caleb Lounsbury's best game in his 2 years now as the starting quarterback of the Pierre Governors. Just pristine in the effort tonight from Caleb Lounsbury here this evening. Job well done there, but he does have a Player of the Game award from the Watertown game, so we'll look elsewhere, and certainly had any number of guys, a lot of these receivers pitching in this one. Another 100-plus yard game for Carter Merrill. You got to look at the offensive line and pat those guys on the back too, but tonight belonged to Porter Hunsley, the guy that was flying all over the field, according to John Calda, the 180-pound sophomore, especially on defense, but even on special teams. I think he made as big of an impact in this game on special teams defending the return game of the Sturgis Scoopers as he did making plays on defense all night long as well. Porter Hunsley is tonight's player of the game and indicative of why the Governors pitched the shutout against the Sturgis. There's a lot of people wondering when was the last time the Pierre Governors had a shutout victory, and I'm not really sure when. We might have had a shutout over Douglas here in the last few years, but Douglas, that's been a team that seems to get a big play in here and there, and it's tough to get a shutout, especially when you send in the second and third strings when needed and when the opportunity presents itself. Of course, a lot of people immediately might go back to 2019 with the big shutout, that 103-0 game that we don't really like to bring back up, but that was an outstanding Pierre team, obviously. So that was 6 years ago. This might be the first shutout since then, but a very rare one at that. And everybody deserves pats on the back. But Porter Hunsley is tonight's player of the game, sponsored by Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Rest of the scores that we've got for you: Brandon Valley over Mitchell tonight, 49-7, running clock through the second half. Same for Spearfish over Douglas, 56-6. Governors at Spearfish next Friday. Yankton holds on to beat Brookings 14-7. And that was a 14-0 game at halftime. Brookings with the only score of the second half. Yankton might be sputtering just a little bit after losing to this Sturgis squad a week ago. Huron has had no trouble with Aberdeen Central tonight. That's a team that continues to build a lot of confidence, and they are the undisputed number one team in 11AA right now with the way they've been playing. 39-0. They lead Aberdeen with 3 minutes to go in that game being played in Huron. Other games among the big schools, Sioux Falls Roosevelt beat Stevens tonight 30-22. A couple of struggling teams there. Washington beat O'Gorman 20-17 at McEnany, where we were last week. Sioux Falls Lincoln rolls it up on Rapid City Central 55-28. Harrisburg still leading Sioux Falls Jefferson. That's 28-14, and they are about halfway through the third quarter in that one. Other scores to check in on, and we like to check in on how our old friend Matt Thorson is doing. He and his West Central Trojans are defeating Dakota Valley right now 47-14 in the fourth quarter. That game in Hartford. Winner with an easy win tonight, and Clark Willow Lake has handed Mobridge Pollock their first loss of the season, 44-6. Tigers lose in that one. We had that one on Star 99, and on KPLO, Mount Vernon Plankinton has shut out Miller Highmore Herald 24-0 tonight. And Chamberlain played tough, but unbeaten Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central stays unbeaten 20-8 the final in that one. Area teams from Central South Dakota in the 9-man ranks, Kimball White Lake over Gregory tonight, 50-20. Good effort there. Jones County gets a victory, a rare one, but victory nonetheless. They beat New Underwood in conference play, 20-16. And meanwhile, Timber Lake over Gettysburg, 46-6. High-scoring game down in Presho, but Phillip outlasts Lyman, 48-44 in that one. And Sully Buttes turned out to be in a battle, and it's still a battle. Harriet Selby on KMLO is leading the unbeaten Chargers and the returning champions out of 9B. 22-20. There's 2 minutes left in that game. You might be able to catch the rest if you can go to the KMLO page of drgnews.com or the smartphone app as well. Those are the scores, and we'll have all of them at drgnews.com over the weekend coming up. So we look ahead, and Sturgis goes to Watertown next week before they finish with their old rival, the Spearfish Spartans, 2 weeks from last night to wrap up the regular season. For the Pierre Governors, it is a trip to Spearfish, Lyle Hare Stadium at Black Hills State University, next Friday night, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, still 7 o'clock Central. With the kick, we'll be on the air at 6:25 here on River 92.7 with the call on that one. The Governors finish hosting Douglas on Thursday night, October 23rd. And, of course, Douglas has had their struggles again this season. Other games coming up in Governor Sports tomorrow. Our next broadcasts, plural, will be here on River 92.7, 12:30 p.m. as the Pierre Governor girls soccer team will play a quarterfinal round game as they host the Watertown Arrows at the PILC soccer fields. Justin Cowart will call that one at 12:30. 1 o'clock kickoff here on River 92.7. And while that's going on, we will have volleyball on KGFX, 1060 AM, 103.1 FM. Governor girls go to Lennox, and we'll have a 2 o'clock start time against Class A Lennox, who just lost last week their first match of the season against the state champion Del Rapids Warriors, and they're 19-1 on the year. Tough one tomorrow, but we'll have that one for you from Lennox High School on KGFX. And Tuesday night, if the Governor girls soccer team is still playing, more soccer likely on Tuesday here on River 92.7, which would push volleyball again to KGFX. The volleyballers host the top-ranked Harrisburg Tigers on Tuesday. We'll go to Yankton on Thursday for the volleyball team, and that'll be back here on River 92.7. So stay tuned with the stations and the assignments on what's to come in Governor Sports on DRG Media Group stations. Rest of the docket has cross-country running ESD today in Mitchell. They've got their Little Govs meet on Tuesday down at Steamboat Park. They go to Huron on Thursday in the week ahead. Competitive cheer and dance, who performed at halftime tonight, goes to Brookings for ESD competition coming up on Thursday in the week ahead. And the boys golf team, they're done. They finished up with a state tournament earlier this week, and the state tennis team for Class A also done. Governor girls finished 6th in the state A, and congratulations to Adrian Hand, who is the 5th flight singles champion in State A Governor tennis over the weekend. or earlier in this week, we should say. Also, football-wise, Vikings football is on a bye this weekend. No Vikings football on KPLO or KMLO. Their next game will be hosting the Philadelphia Eagles next Sunday, 11 o'clock pregame on our sister stations of DRG Media Group. All right, enough said. Only one more thing to take care of, and that's a wish of safe travels for Sturgis fans back home and everybody on the road, where the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds us all that there is text or drive. There is no and. Buckle up, too. You've got some place to be. Big thanks to William Wilson for running our show in studio, for Brian Menning, who has run camera duty for Live Ticket, a good one to rewatch if you'd like to. You can do so at drgnews.com on the River 92.7 page or on the Live Ticket GoGovs Live YouTube feed. And for John Calda, at Side Tonight, I'm Brian Oakland, your final Gales Gas Service scoreboard. The Governors shut out the Sturgis Scoopers tonight, 44-0. Governor Sports tomorrow, soccer on River 92.7, hosting Watertown in postseason play. Governor Volleyball on KGFX, 2 o'clock from Lennox. We wish them the best as you've been listening to Governor Sports on your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7, drgnews.com. Good evening, everybody.
You've been listening to coverage of Pierre Governor Sports on the official home of the